And that's the secret to life, folks. That's how you do it, and that's it. That's all you need to know. Secret to life. What's going on, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope y'all doing well. Hope your Sunday and your Monday went well. I'm glad you're all here. Let's go. Luckily, I can read lips. Welcome, welcome. We had some activity right before we even got live. David, thank you for the 5 months of Prime. That is wild. So much. Thank you so much. Alyssa with the 7 months. What? We're at 7 months. Triple OGs. If you're a triple OG, can you just put triple, like just put triple G's. Triple G's. If you've been here before this boot camp even started, just put triple G. Triple G. I just want to see it. Who's been here since the beginning? Look at that. 7 months, y'all. Look at those triple OGs. Let's go. That's wild. That's wild. Thank you so much, Alyssa. I appreciate the 7 months. Hype train already. Izzy with the 7 months. The boats and the logs. Let's go. And Diabolical with the raid. 39. Those numbers are going up. We gotta keep those numbers going up, 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 up. If you got free time before this stream, you should be in Diabolical stream, doing all the good review, getting some extra learning in. Got the triple OGs here. Hey, you ain't ready for all today, yo. Garrett Thor, thank you so much for the 4 months. Let's go. All right, folks. I'm ready for today. I'm ready for today. I pulled out, put on the comfy shirt. Had to put on the Hufflepuff shirt. I had to put the hair back. I might take my glasses off. I got the tea, literally and metaphorically. Got the tea. I'm ready to spill. You don't know what's coming today, folks. You don't know. Indifferent Ghost, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. That is wild. That is wild. Thank you so much. What? I appreciate all the love, folks. It makes it exciting to show up every day. Not necessary, but I really much appreciate it. Whew. What kind of tea? This is store-bought diet iced tea. Store-bought diet iced tea. Gold Peak. What? Ariel Speedwagon, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. Stop drinking microplastic. Thank you, Yash. I appreciate the health concern. I just can't throw them out. They come free with the food, so I keep them. But yeah, so I got the tea. I think it's Gold Peak Diet Iced Tea. I like the Diet Iced Tea. It tastes like my grandma's iced tea. Tastes like my grandma's iced tea. My great-grandmother's iced tea. My great-grandmother was good at cooking 2 things. One of them was iced tea. Cookie Codes, thank you so much for the 6 months. Oh, it's so wild to see those numbers go up. That's insane. Sorry, not insane. That's wild. That is so wild. Yeah. My great-grandmother was good at making iced tea and angel food cake. That was it. I got fish sticks for dinner. And they were frozen half the time. But I loved her. She was the best. This class literally couldn't have come at a better time. My biggest hope interview is tomorrow. Woo! Let's go. That's the reason why we're doing this one today. That's when we're doing this one today. I definitely think we're still a little early for the interview game. We're definitely a little early for the interview game, but folks are getting interviews. So we gotta start putting those thought processes in place. And I got a lot to share tonight, folks. I'm giving all the tips, all the tricks, all the secrets. Anything I got up my sleeve. I wore sleeves today specifically for that gag. It's coming out. Sheenan, thank you for the 100 bits. And wow, just to support. Indifferent, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. The 5 gifted subs. Ariel Speedwagon, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Cookie, thank you for the 6 months. That is wild. Thank you all so much. Level 5 hype train out the gate. Let's go. Now, we got a lot of stuff to get through tonight. Tonight's gonna be a little bit different. It's gonna be a little bit different. Gonna be less coding tonight, more planning. Folks are getting those interviews. Folks are kind of starting to think through that process. I wanted to do that tonight. I wanted you to get the ball rolling, to set up some things that you're going to be working on for the rest of program, right? Things that you're going to be thinking about every day for the rest of program. You are going to change today. Today you will change. You will be a different person after today. You will have new thoughts, new worries, new concerns, new things that you're working on daily, because it's going to help you get a job. What? Liquid Words, thank you for the gifted sub. And Indifferent, thank you so much. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. That's wild. I don't know if everyone can see it. I don't want to keep putting you on blast, but that's a lot of gifted subs. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. If you have gotten a gifted sub today, please, can we just have a wall of the Micro Leons just to say thank you to everyone? Just a thank you. A wall of Micro Leons to say thank you. That's wild. Just broke 200. Exactly. What? Thank you so much. I appreciate all the support. Just a wall of Micro Leons. Just give it. If you got it, use it. If you got it, use it. The vibe. I like that. Cool. Folks, lot to get into. Tonight starts the hunt. I like to call this the hunt. We're on class 28. We're supposed to go for the total 30 weeks, right? We had some extra weeks because of breaks, so we're kind of like we have like 3 extra weeks that were added. We're still gonna hit that 30 mark deadline. We're still gonna hit it, but if we're thinking in terms of classes, we're almost halfway through. We're at like the halfway class point, right? So if we were thinking like 60 total classes, we're almost at 30. We're still going to hit that end of May deadline. We're still going to have some classes after it, but that end of May deadline is where folks will be like ready to really be in the thick of getting the job. But tonight the hunt starts. Tonight the hunt starts. Getting that job is not easy. And there's a lot of things that you have to do. A lot of controversial things. Things that people have told me, Leon, you can't do that. Leon, you shouldn't do that. Leon, how dare you do that? Fuck them. We're getting jobs, baby. We're getting jobs. So I can't wait to share all that with you tonight. The good, the bad, the ugly, the controversial. We're throwing it all out there. The Art of Missy, thank you so much for the 3 months in a row. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Whew. Whew. All right. I want to jump right into it. If you got questions, let's get some questions in here, and then we're gonna jump right into it. All right. By any means necessary. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Long hair, don't care. Show us the money. Hey. I took a walk with a developer who said Leon's methods are shady. One day I'll buy you a beverage of your choice. Let's go. Controversy literally fuels Leon. It does. Haters gonna hate. Am I right? Whew. Alrighty. Questions. You got questions. I got answers. We also have, did I change the link? I hope I changed the link. Let me grab the link here. Copy. Just going to make sure that I have the ask link changed for today as well. Since we're doing more of like a question answer type class, I do want to make sure that the Google form is live and it is up to date. So I'm going to go over those at the end. So definitely ask your questions today in chat. This is definitely a class where you want to ask questions. I'm going to give answers. If things don't make sense, you ask. There's a lot of really, really, really important stuff tonight. So please make sure you're asking questions. If there's something you definitely want me to see that's related to the job hunt, ! Ask will give you that Google form where you can throw that question in there, and I'll get to all those at the end before we sign off. Brian, I want to learn with Leon Umbrella in the merch store. That's how shady these tactics are going to be. All right. I also had a question in the question of the day. And so before we get really into it, I'm going to look at your questions. But I also want to see how many total applications, like across your entire life, do you think you've submitted? Like how many total applications? Put the number in chat for me. I'm really curious how many applications people have done. Like if you had to guess, like over your life, how many have you done? Ooh. Ooh. Whew. Seeing a lot. Seeing a lot here. Seeing a lot. Whew. Let's see. Seems like some 20, 30, 250, 3,000, 7, 200, 150, 300 plus, 500 plus, 10,000 plus. Whoa, 170 max, I'd say. All right, so we've been down this on the job hunt last year about 160. Trey Fitty. Whew. All right, so there seems to be like a wide range here. We have some that are kind of a smaller amount of numbers, and we have a lot that are kind of like in the 1 to 200, 300 range. That's wild. Yeah. Devog says, you remember my story? Think about how many apps for each of those jobs. Yeah. Whew. Wow. Okay, cool. So we got some experience here today, folks. We got some experience. This might not be something new for you, but I'm gonna pull out all the tricks that I can. Somebody said there's 2 questions before we did the wall of number of applications. The first question was Sundays at office hours. Technically, Sunday's not office hours. Sunday is our review day. I think I left the old slide in here. So Sunday is a full review day. Everything that we're going to need before we jump into the back end. So tonight's all about interviewing. And then Thursday is all about kind of callbacks, async await, the last few things that we need about JavaScript before we get into back end. Then we come back next week, we're going straight into Node, right? We're getting right into the back end. And so Sunday is a day where we're going to take about 6 hours or so to go through all the fundamentals, through the HTML, the CSS, the JavaScript, the things that we're going to need before we get into the back end. So if you need a review day and you want to get some catching up to do, then you can go ahead and join us on Sunday. And then on Tuesday, we're into Node. Cool. What's the backend stack? We're Node through and through. Node, Express, Mongo, and then a little bit of Postgres at the end. Cool. Alrighty, folks. And then there's one other question that said, questions that ask your interviewer. I think Sam asked that one. I have a list of those questions for you. They're in the materials that I'll be giving out today. So if you have questions about like who you should ask, what questions you should ask, I got them for you. The checklist says Boston. Don't worry about that. Make it wherever you're. I thought I changed that one. Hold on, let's see. I did like 2 rounds of it. Yeah. So it's location like wherever you are. Cool. There you go. I fixed that. Thank you. Will we review APIs? Yeah, we're going to touch on the very basics of APIs. Yeah, a little bit of a basics. Yeah. You have some code that's breaking on iPhones and Safari. Make sure you have your meta viewport set to display with. That's often one of the biggest problems that we see there. Where are we in the trough of sorrow? We're like in the middle of the trough of sorrow. I guarantee, like, not next week, but the week after, you're gonna have your first wiggle of hope. That's right, folks. Not next week, but the week after, you will have your first wiggle of hope. That's right, a wiggle of hope. That wiggle of hope is when you start to realize, wait a minute, this back-end thing, not so scary. I can see like how it can be complex, but not scary. And so that's it's going to get your first wiggle. And I think that wiggle is what propels folks into the second half of program. that wiggle makes you feel like it's just like, like the there's like the little kid baby meme where he's like, and he's like overjoyed. That comes not next, but the following week, where you're like, holy smokes, this is what a full stack web application is. And I can like start building them like inappropriately now, like not with best practices, but I can like duct tape something together and get a full stack app going. Let's go. Because, and it's funny, I was talking to Indifferent about this, I believe on Sunday. I go about a weird way of teaching backend development. I don't teach any of the best practices. I get it so that you actually can see and build and understand something, and then we add best practices on, right? And so for some folks that looks a little odd, but I'd rather you have the oh shit moment where you're like, oh, I can build stuff, like I can do this, like I understand. I'd rather you get to that point before you get and start worrying about like best practices and routes and all that fun stuff. So I think the next 2 weeks are fun. They get you building, they get you seeing, and then you get those wiggles of false hope there. I've come to terms with the fact that I can only learn so much at a time, and this will be a lifelong process. No more sorrow necessary. Hey, that's a great place to be. Let's all get there. All right. Vomit, our way of learning. Yes, let's go. Alrighty. So, this Friday, we have a live car class. That's right. We have a live car class. Anybody know what CAR stands for? Anybody? Let's see who can like scroll forward the fastest. First person to say car gets a Pokemon card. Ooh, my back hurts. All right, I got a Pokemon card coming your way. When we take a break, I gotta run 2 drawings for Pokemon cards. I'll do one for you during our first break. All right, so cause, action, result, right? So cause is like something that happened, the action you took, and the result is like why you're a better developer because of it. So we're going to talk about our behavioral questions tonight. And on Friday, we're going to practice how do we become like lean, mean, like interview answering machines. And so we're just going to have a full practice on Friday about how to do that, like in a very rhythmic, very, very, very like natural way. And then we're going to be also talking about the agency. So last week we dropped the big bomb that we are going ahead and buying a startup and starting an agency. So Friday will be like the first time I'm sharing more information about that. So if you're interested in becoming a lean, mean interviewing machine, or you want to start learning about how you can start contributing to the agency and start building some practical things and making some money, you should show up on Friday. Office hours, not really office hours. Sunday is our review. You are free to ask tons of questions, but Sunday will be our review class. Starting at 1 p.m. Eastern time, we'll go for probably about 6 hours. Lots of good, healthy breaks in between, but we're getting our review on. All right, remember, it's been a fresh start, folks. The past is the past. The future is the future. Your slate has been wiped clean. If you're missing work or anything, you can catch up now. Come to the review class on Sunday. The slate has been clean. It's a fresh start. I love this gift so much. I want to be that happy one day. How do I get that happy? Ugh. All right. Networking starts today, folks. I want this week. Leon just wants the coat. I want this week 1 coffee chat. I want 1 coffee chat. That's what I want. I want a one-on-one conversation with you and somebody else in tech. 1 coffee chat this week. Push yourself. Begin the networking. We're going to ramp into it. But I want 1 coffee chat this week. Not 2, 1. 1 coffee chat this week. All right. Remember, our Client deadline is March 16th. So you can get a client. You can contribute to an open source project. You can volunteer for a grassroots organization. Any one of those three are totally fine. Next Tuesday, I'm going to ask for you to submit your stuff. And that way I can see who you like. I can see what you did, what you worked on, and things like that. We'll also do like a running total of how much money folks have brought in from their clients. I think that's gonna be really cool. I'm really stoked to see how much like everyone has been able to bring in through 100 devs. So I think it's gonna be really, really cool. So super excited for that to happen. Remember, you can do a client, you can do volunteering for a grassroots organization, or you can try contributing to a free software open source project. And I'll open that up next Tuesday's class. We already have a coffee chat scheduled. Someone's got the questions for coffee chat as a reference. Not sure what that means. I was going to meet with my grassroots person on Sunday, but now I need to reschedule. Oh no. All right. Yeah, I would say that too. Yeah, I think that's the right move, Izzy. I would go to the meet and then just join us back. It's a review, right? So you can always catch up. If you come back later, you can ask questions. Bye. Thank you for the $25. Whew. The company we're buying is just getting bigger and bigger, folks. I appreciate that so much, Pi. Thank you. I really appreciate that. All the donations go into our fund to buy our company. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's wild. Tara Beezy with the hydration. Cheers to you. Cheers to you. Ooh. Hope I don't spill it, folks. Oh, that tastes like home. That tastes like home. Code with Kenny. 4 months in a row. Boom. Thank you, Leon. You rock, man. Hey, you rock too, Kenny. Thank you so much. All right. It's the tea. Hope I don't spill it. All right, I just want to throw a quick reminder, a quick spaced repetition that you should be doing active recall still. Caught some folks not doing active recall. Found out about it. They weren't doing it. Make sure you're doing your active recall. We know that that's an effective way to study. Hey, the done for any. Thank you for the 10. Cheers to you as well. Thank you so much. All right. Make sure you're doing your active recall. Don't forget that there's a real forgetting curve. Everything that you put in work to learn, you will forget. If you do not space out your repetition by the end of the month, there is an 80% chance you will have forgotten. Everything you put all that hard work into, 80% chance, gone. So you should be resetting your forgetting curve. And using spaced repetition. Where's the Anki gang at? Where's Anki gang? I saw y'all in the chat earlier. Anki gang has been reviewing their Anki every day, 3 p.m. I believe it's Eastern time. Correct me if I'm wrong. All right. You should join that group. You should pop on Discord. Review some of your Anki live. One of the things I do with folks that I know in real life, like when we're doing study sessions back when we could like meet in person, my favorite type of study session was to pull up our Anki decks and work through them. So go on Discord, do an Anki session, go into a voice chat, right? You can share your screen. You can all talk to each other. Do an Anki session. Get that spaced repetition in. Heck, I'm going to join some Anki sessions. Let's do some Anki sessions. I would love to join some. So use the Discord, folks. There's lots of cool stuff going on there. All right. Make sure you're getting spaced repetition in. Don't be putting in all this work and not getting your repetition in. And you're going to see why spaced repetition is really important for today. Today is probably the most important time you will ever need spaced repetition. Today is the most important day you'll ever need spaced repetition. All right. Now, let's get into the meat today, folks. Today we're talking about how to get a job in tech. It's not easy. It's a long, hard road, and it's a road that a lot of people mess up. They don't know how to do it right. They just don't. Most folks only have experience doing it from their end. Maybe one time. Maybe they get a handful of jobs across their career, and they just don't know how to do it. I've seen hundreds of folks get jobs. I've literally helped hundreds of folks get jobs. And not like some behemoth of a machine. Me and 3 to 4 other folks at Resilient Coders have gotten hundreds of folks jobs. And so I get to see what works, what doesn't work, what people say works but really doesn't work. And that's what I'm boiling down for y'all today. Everything that I've learned over the past 4 or 5 years, or 9 years if you include General Assembly, trying to condense it into this one little class and just try my hardest not to yell and shake you, because it's just that important, folks. Just the number of folks that just wander aimlessly through their job search and a year goes by and they still don't have a job is too damn high because they don't do the stuff that we talk about tonight. Let that sink in. I know people that have gone a year plus without getting a job because they didn't know the stuff we're going to talk about tonight. Blah, thank you for the 6 months. It'd be longer if I had figured out how to spend Bezos's bucks earlier. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate it. All right. You piqued my interest. That's heavy. It is. It is. All right. You all have to make a decision. Yeah, I'm going to go to this. Y'all have to make a decision. And it's one of the most important decisions you're going to make in your life. The things we're going to talk about tonight are not easy to do. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of dedication. It takes daily dedication. And out of thousands of students I have taught, thousands, they all come to a day where they make a decision. And the decision is, do I want a career as a software engineer or do I not? And you might say, Leon, no, I already know I want it. No. Most people kind of want it. They like the idea of it, the sound of it, the cachet of it, they're thinking about their Lamborghinis and summer homes. Like, no. Most people like the idea of it, but they're not ready to put in the work that's required to get there. And so tonight, I'm going to show you the path that's worked for hundreds of folks. It's not an easy path. It's a lot of hard fucking work. And it's not technical work. It has nothing to do, and this is the wildest thing. It has nothing to do with your aptitude when it comes to code. Like getting a job, it just doesn't have to, like, I've seen of every walk of life, every skill. I've had folks that I was like pretty sure couldn't actually code get wonderful jobs. Now, they weren't my students, but I've seen it, right? And the only thing that has ever been a determination between somebody getting one and not getting one is one day something clicked in their brain and they said, Leon, I want this. I want this for myself. I want this for my family. I want this for my community. And I'm going to do what it takes to cross that finish line. That's it. It wasn't how easy JavaScript came to them. It wasn't, did they understand OOP? It wasn't that. It was one day they woke up and they said, I fucking want this. And I'm going to do what I need to do every day to go and get it. I like to call it beast mode. After Marshawn Lynch, it's what it is. It's the hunger. It's a switch, and I love interacting with you all, but one of the biggest joys in my life, like it makes me like want to cry. I just think about it. One of the biggest joys in my life is coming into the classroom and the person that was sitting in the back is sitting up front, and you see it. You see it in their eyes. They're like, I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of where I'm at. I'm tired of everything that's going on. And I want something different. And I'm going to do whatever the fuck it takes to get across that finish line. That's it. That's it. It either clicks or it doesn't. And that's the only thing. It is the only thing that I've ever seen as like a precursor to somebody getting a job. Because let me tell you the dirty secret. Let me tell you the dirty secret. And then I'm going to thank everyone. I'm going to tell you the dirty secret. I got a lot of people to thank. I'm going to tell you the dirty secret and I'm going to thank everyone. You got 60 well networked applications ahead of you. Not just clicking apply. I mean back-breaking work for these 60 applications. It's going to be all-consuming for the next couple of months. And so you either wake up and you say, fuck it, I'm going to do what I got to do. Or you say, you know what, it's not for me. And I don't fault anyone that doesn't get to that point in their mind where it's like, I'm going to show up, I'm going to do what I got to do, and I'm going to get across that finish line. I don't fault you if you don't get there. But I've seen what happens when the people make that decision and they say, you know what, I'm going for it. I've seen lives change. I've seen lives of their own, of their family, of their community, and I want that for you. I do. I honestly, at the end of the day, everyone that's here, I want that for you. I want you to wake up and know that you're going to an office that you love. Look at these freaking offices. I want you to wake up and know that you got health insurance. I want you to wake up and know that you have a good paycheck coming at the end of the week. I want you to wake up and be happy. This is the happiest career, folks. It's the happiest career. 5 years running, happiest career, folks. I want that for y'all. And so today I'm going to show you what I think it takes to get there. And it really does not matter how easy JavaScript came to you. It really doesn't matter how easy OOP came to you. It matters whether or not you flick that switch that says, I want this. I want this. Cool. Got some people to thank here. On Ad One, thank you for the 4 months. That's wild. Whew. Emma B, thank you for the 4 months in a row. I didn't know how I had to sell where it'd be 5 months. Thanks for all you do. Thank you for being here. Angel, thank you for the 5 months in a row. The D4NE, thank you for the 3 months. And AP Thug, thank you for the 3 months. Glasses off. Alrighty, folks. Let's get into this. Let's do this. Let's figure out what it takes, and let's start kicking down some doors. Let's carry some boats and some freaking logs, and let's get this done. I put the Dr. Eric Thomas quote in the beginning because this is the ethos of tonight. Dr. Eric Thomas says, and all men are created equal. Some work harder in preseason. I'm going to change it a little bit. I'm going to say all people created equal. Some work harder in preseason. This is your preseason. This is your, before the hunt really begins, this is you putting in the work. The hunt's going to start. And this work you start today, the work you build, this foundation you build today, is the foundation that's going to fuel your hunt and get you the job. So lock in. We got a lot of stuff to get into. Bobby Lynn, thank you for the $50. What? We got to start looking at some bigger companies, folks. That's wild. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. Thank you for being here. All right. Now, I'm putting some of my biases on the table. Some things I've been working really hard to change. Most of my information is hands-on, in the trenches information, but it's mainly from folks in the U.S., right? So I've helped folks outside of the U.S. get jobs. I've helped folks with their visa process. I have sponsored visas. I've done everything you can think of, but most of my experience comes from folks in the U.S. Now, I've been learning as pretty much and as much as I can for folks that want to come work here in the US or for folks that want to work remotely. So I've been doing metric crap tons of research so that folks that want to work remotely or not in the US, I have that experience, and I've been talking to folks that specialize in it. So know that my perspective is the US, but I'm working really hard to make it so that that's not the only thing. Okay. I think I missed the hydration. Techno Ghost, thank you for the hydration. Cheers to you. Jocantu, thank you for the hydration. Cheers to you. And Blah with the Pokemon card. When we take our break, I'll do the draw. Thank you. Cheers to you. Cheers to you. Woo! Enjoying the tea, folks. All right. Now, here's the big thing. Thank you, Hasura. Here's the thing. Tonight, I'm going to show you how to play the game. I'm going to show you how to play the game. I'm going to show you how it's played. I'm going to show you how you can play it clean. I'm going to show you how you can play it dirty. I'm going to show you how it's played. I cannot make any of these decisions for you. Some of the things we're going to talk about tonight are moral decisions. Some of the things we're going to talk about tonight are, Leon, I morally don't feel like I should do that. All right, that's you. I'm going to teach you how to play it. It's up to you if you want to play. Everyone's losing the game. So I want to put that out there as a primer. I'm going to show you how you can play it. Up to you. It's up to you to set your boundaries where you want to go. I am of, as you know, a by any means necessary. If I was laid off due to the pandemic, I wanted to eat. If I was hungry, if I knew I wanted a job, fuck it. Let's go. But I can't do that. That's your decision to make. So putting that out there. This is also where I have made the most people angry, like in my life. I think like in my life, this is where I've made the most people angry. A lot of engineers hate this advice. I have literally had people tell me, Leon, you can't do that. Leon, you shouldn't do that. Leon, that's wrong. Like no. You're all applying for jobs at companies. And let me tell you one really important thing that you got to remember about the companies that you're going to work for. They don't give a fuck about you. They really don't. 99.999% of the companies that you will go to do not care about you. They care about the work that you can do. But at the end of the day, if they can fire you and save $1, guess what they're doing? They're firing you. Now, are there some wonderful companies that have wonderful cultures that really support their engineers, that really support the folks that work there? Yes, they are. They exist. They're rare. I've seen folks go into hundreds of different companies. Folks that I thought were paying with culture were the quickest to lay folks off during the pandemic, right? So it's not business. It's not personal, folks. It's business. And you got to keep this in mind this entire time. This is business. So I don't care about a lot of things because I know as soon as the chips fall one way, it's not falling in my favor. They ain't going to have my back. And so we're gonna make a lot of we're gonna make some nerds angry tonight, because I'm gonna tell you some things. And like I said, it's up to you if you want to play the game. I'm gonna tell you some things. It's up to you if you want to play the game and do those things. But know this is where probably a lot of folks that, or even folks that I consider close, like fellow mentors, disagree. Cool. All right, tonight we are going to be talking about crafting your story, which we've done a little bit on our Friday sessions. We're going to be talking about building our online presence and how to do that. And then we're going to be talking about literally the most important thing you'll probably ever do for your career. That's your hit list. We've teased about this in the past, but your hit list will probably be the most important thing you do throughout your career. It's just one of the most important things you're ever going to do. Then we're going to talk about the interview process. We're going to hint at CAR and prep. And then we're going to talk about like how to start the interview process and get that ball rolling. And then our Friday sessions will be putting these things into practice. This Friday will be all about CAR. Next Friday will be all about prep and so on. And so it's just we're starting the interview process tonight. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about that process and everything that you need to do, like starting right now to start building, right? To start building your career. Man, have you ever worked for a company you didn't start as a software engineer? Yes. Mainly as a contractor, though. I've worked for some pretty big like tech companies and some smaller ones, mainly as a contractor. For folks that know my background, started a company, ran that for a few years, been helping run a nonprofit for the past couple of years. I've done a lot of contracting in between. Yeah. My company is one of the most employee-friendly, likes to claim to love their employees, and for the most part does follow that. But they laid us off with 1 day notice in the pandemic. And then, yeah, exactly. That set off the notice in my brain that no matter how nice they are, they don't care about you in the long run. Things turn around real quick. Cool. All right. Here's what I need y'all to do. I need y'all to do two things for me real quick. I need you to grab this checklist because this is what we're going to be going through tonight. So everybody go ahead and grab that checklist. And then if you could please give Stephanie a follow. Just click over to Twitter, give them a follow. Stephanie works at Resilient Coders with me and is our director of community engagement. All of our students call her the fairy job mother. I'm the person in the classroom. She's the person that's been talking to our hiring partners for the longest and helping students get into their first jobs. And so Stephanie is our fairy job mother. A lot of the material I'm going to share tonight are things that she has helped prep for other students that I've worked with. And she's also kind of volunteered to help y'all out too. So we're going to figure out how to do that in a way that's like reasonable. But she told me today, she's like, Leon, I want to help folks that are at 100 devs. And so let's go ahead and just show them some support, please. Because a lot of the material I'm going to share tonight is their material that they've given to me and that I've used in the classroom for a while. And they're signing up to help y'all too. So let's go ahead, send them some love, give them a follow, maybe even say like a thank you or something like that for the materials. And let's get into it. So now you have the checklist and you thank the person that helped put it together. Let's jump in. I'm going to pull up the checklist on my other screen just so I have it too. All right, so we're going to step through these things. I am asking you to get through everything on this checklist by next week. So next Tuesday, all this stuff is due, and there's already a professional links form that was on Discord today, and I put at the end of the slides where you're going to submit all the links to this stuff. Okay, so we're going to walk through it. She was at like let's see, where are they at now? Woo! They were at 891 when I looked. 891. Look at our community. Freaking love our community. Let's go. Look at that. Got them over 1,000. Let's go. I appreciate the hell out of all of y'all. All y'all that are here, I appreciate the hell out of all of y'all. Thank you for going ahead and giving them a follow. I know that's going to make their night. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right. We got the 1,000 devs. Let's go. All right, so we got the checklist up. I got the checklist up on my side. We're going to talk through each of these things, and then I need you to do that before next Tuesday. So we've had a crafting your story class, and it's literally one of the most important things you're going to do throughout this whole process. Crafting your story is kind of coming up with a path from where you were to where you are now, right? And you're trying to answer like one question. Why are you here? Why are you in this interview right now? Right? Why are you in this interview right now? Why have you shown up? Oh yeah, thank you, Ghost. There is a bang checklist command. So you can do bang checklist and the links there. All right. Why are you here? Why are you in this interview? Like, why? What was the reason? Why are you here? All right. And so the story is what you're going to put to recruiters, to hiring partners, as the reason why you are the best thing since sliced bread and why you are literally the best candidate that has ever walked in their doors. And all of you have that story. Every single one of you. If you don't believe it, I'm gonna bring it out during one of our classes. But every single one of you have a story that makes your past experience highlight the person that you are and why you're a great fit for your job. Right? And it's hard to think about it. A lot of folks don't really like thinking about themselves, but you all have a story that's inside of you that's going to make you stand out when you get into an interview scenario. And one of the first things you have to figure out is, what is that story? Right? This story is super important because it's going to enable you to pass the sniff test. We've talked about this in the past. Y'all stink. Y'all stink. You got the boot camper stink on you. Recruiters can smell it. Right? They can smell it. And the story that you tell is one of the first barriers that explain I am more than a boot camp. It sucks that you have to explain this, but this is the way your story comes into play. I didn't just do a boot camp. Like we all want to say, hold on, somebody said it in chat. We all want to say, I'm here because being poor is bad and rent is too damn high. That's why we're all fucking here. I think there's a few of you here that have the passion for it. That's great. Some of you have really found that you love it. That's great. I think most of us are here because being broke sucks and I got bills to pay. Right? And the problem is, you can't go into an interview and say, yeah, food's great. You know, like, come on, food's great. Right? The reason I am in tech is because I had no money and I was hungry. I got a client and I skipped my ass all the way to the grocery store to buy pasta and pasta sauce with the deposit that they gave me. And that did something in my brain. Something changed in my brain. And I knew this is what I was going to be. So the problem is, you can't say that in an interview. You can't go and say rent's too damn high. That's why I'm here. I did a boot camp. Rent was too high. I'm here. You can't say that because that doesn't pass the sniff test. That doesn't get you through the pearly gates. That doesn't do what you need to do. And so you need a story. And like I said, I'm going to tell you how the game is played. I can't tell you to play it. You need a story. A story that binds together everything that you've done and answers the question, why are you here? Now, if you've been coming to our Friday sessions, we've done 2 rounds of crafting your story. After tonight's class, I'm going to share last class's crafting our story session where you can see 5 stories crafted live. If you missed that Friday session, watch that video. Watch the video. I'm going to put it right in Discord. Watch that video and see how 5 people crafted their story, how it went from where they were to why they are here. Because the crafting of the story is what's going to get you past this first sniff test. Okay? Forgot I put this slide in here. I love that one. I forget about my slides. All right. So we need to get past the recruiters and we just got to get to the nerds. Once we get to the nerds, it's a different ball game. Once we get to the nerds, then it's, can you code? And do I want to work with you for the next 2 years? That's what it comes to. Once you can get past the recruiters, once you can get past the paid gatekeepers, right? You can get in the room with another engineer. Most of the, I mean, this is a spectrum of experience, but most of the time when my students have gotten into an engineer's, like to the engineer phase, the engineers really only care, can you code? And do I want to work with you for the next 2 years? Now, there are ways to play into that. There are ways to play into the, do I want to work with you the next 2 years? And there are ways to get to the can you code. We're going to talk a lot tonight about the can you code and what you're going to need to do to get past that engineering sniff test. And then we can also talk about, do I want to work with you the next 2 years? There are levels to this. If I had an interview for my dream job tomorrow, I would find out who's interviewing me. I would follow them on Twitter. I would look at their past tweets. I would see that they in 2018 went to a Gray Matter, I don't even know if that's still a tournament organizer, Magic the Gathering tournament. And then while I'm in that interview, I'm going to like sit down in the chair to the interview, and my notebook, like out of my notebook falls a Magic the Gathering card. Like, oops, I'm sorry. Didn't mean, let me go ahead. Sorry that happened. Let me take the Magic the Gathering card. Let me put it back into my, into my notebook. I'm sorry. That's, like you can gamify this part too. We're not going to talk so much about this tonight. We'll have another class where we talk about this. You can gamify this too. Like you can crack that very easily. But the one we're going to focus on tonight is the can you code. Okay? Because that's a sniff test that we got to figure out how we get past that sniff test. And we start getting past that sniff test today. Yes, you're going to be interviewing months from now. And the work you do starting today is what's going to get you past that engineering sniff test in 2 to 3 months. Right? So the work we start now is going to get us past that first engineering sniff test. And we can talk shop about this one a little bit later. All right. So let's get past the sniff. Let's jump into the beginnings of our online persona. And then at the top of the hour, we'll take a break. So I don't think enough of you have done this yet. And so what I want for everyone to do, I'm gonna push it on you, because I'm sharing the heat tonight, and I know you want it. I know you want to hear all the tips and tricks. And so tonight I'm gonna push you a little bit. I've been asking you to craft this story. We've been having these crafting stories classes, and I know crafting your story is difficult. I know for a lot of folks, there's a mental block where they don't want to actually think about what their story could be. I want you to take just 3 minutes. I want you to take just 3 minutes. We're going to put 3 minutes on the timer. I want you to take 3 minutes, and I want you to think about what your story is. And I want you to think positively about yourself. I want you to think positively about yourself. What is the best way you can talk about yourself, right? What is the best way you can talk about yourself and your past experience? So this is like one part thinking about your story and like one part positive affirmations. And we're going to do this for 3 minutes. 3 minutes on the clock. Doesn't have to be fancy. 3 minutes. Think about what your story should be. A different added 2 minutes to the timer. All right. It's 5 minutes now, folks. Forgot about that one. 5 minutes. Thank you for extending the time. I love that one. It's so cool. Yeah. What's your story? How can you talk positively about yourself? And how can you tie in your past experience to be where you're at now? Like, what got you from zero to being a software engineer? Just thinking. Just thinking. If you want to type it out, type it out. But I want you to think through it. All right. Leon, do you play Magic the Gathering? I did for a large portion of my life. Let's put on some music here while folks are working. I've only played a little bit recently. I want to get a pauper deck up and running. But yeah, so I played throughout high school and early uni, and then a little bit later in my life. You can try and guess what deck I would run though. I always ran the same kind of decks. What? Diabolical, get out of my head. What? How did you know that? What? First try too. That's some Nardwuar shit right there. What? That's so wild. Yeah, he got me. He's been social media stalking. Folks, it's not stalking. It's networking. You're a direct kind of guy. Yep, I can see that. All right, you got 2 minutes, 30 seconds, folks. Remember, you're thinking about your story. How did you go from where you were to being a software engineer? Like, what got you there? What was your passion, your motivation? What got you there? Like, why are you showing up? It's hard to talk about yourself. It is. That's why I'm like, I know you want the goods today, so I'm gonna push you while I got the thing that I know you want. I'm late today. Did I miss anything? Whew. Rockefeller, you've been missing the heat. All about what you need to get a job in tech today. So you're good. We're crafting our story. You didn't miss everything, but make sure you do exclamation point checklist to get the checklist for today. That's gonna be really important. Okay, I think I grabbed onto something good, writing some notes. That's awesome. Reptar. Emplazer Z. If you're a vet, talk to me. Send me a DM on Discord, and this is for anybody else that's a vet, and at least in the US, there are a lot of special programs designed specifically for veterans. I actually taught a class for vets in tech. Craig from Craigslist, he actually runs an organization for veterans getting into tech, and I ran one of the classes in Boston. So I have people that I can connect you all with if you're making that transition specifically back into civilian life. So definitely either ping me, either do a mod mail or a DM, and I can I'll give you some advice. I never met them. I never met them, but yeah, they funded the class. Do you know Tom? I wish I knew Tom. Tom seems like a chill person. Grant, that's pretty good. That's pretty solid. I like that. All right. Now, if you typed it out and you're feeling froggy, I would love for you to post it. If you're feeling froggy, put it out there. Put it out there. There's a few people that have put it out into chat. Put it out there. Let it be said. Let it be said. Look at these. Oh, I love it. I love it. Look at these examples. These are great. Whew. It's the heat. Oh, wow. These are great. Look at y'all. Exactly, Alyssa. This makes me happy. You're all off to good starts here. This is wild. Whew. All right. Great start, folks. Great start. All right. Next up is building out your online persona. Remember, what we do today echoes. What's the 300 quote? What we do today echoes in the halls of eternity or something like that. What we do today echoes in the halls of eternity when it comes to our job hunt. All right. And so when we come back from a break, it's the top of the hour. If you're new here, we're doing a free 30-week software engineering bootcamp. Welcome. We love to have you join us. We're actually doing a full 6-hour review class on Sunday before we get into our back-end classes. And so you're welcome. Exclamation point 100 devs to learn everything about what we're doing. We like to be healthy. We're in this for the marathon, not the sprint. This is for the rest of our lives, rest of our careers. And so we like to take a break at the top of the hour. So we're going to do a 5-minute break. Let's go ahead and take that break. And when we come back, we're dipping into the online persona and we're hitting off on that checklist. Exclamation point checklist. If you don't have the checklist pulled up, have it pulled up. It's important. There's lots of little details that we're going to work through. What we do tonight is going to help you get a job. So let's put 5 minutes on the clock. Five minutes on the clock. All right, take your break, folks. If you're able, please get up. If you're able, give your hands a stretch, your fingers a stretch. Let your eyes relax on something that's farther away. Cool. You got 5 minutes. Do what you got to do. Kiss some babies. Grab some tea. We're about to spill it all, folks. I haven't finished the YouTube class yet. That's all right. If you can come to our review class on Sunday, that'd be the best. But I can't wait. Ooh. Oh, baby. Did you? That's poetic. I haven't finished the YouTube class yet, but I can't wait for the future. Boom. Love it. That's fire. Look at these coming in. Jarrett, hit up Microsoft. They just let me know that they didn't heard from you. I just saw you in chat. Oh, these are so good. What is this YouTube class I keep hearing about? We put all of our past classes up on YouTube. So you can do exclamation point YouTube, and that's all the past classes. So we're on class like 28. It's okay though. If you're new, join us on Sunday. It'll be everything you need to be caught up, and then we'll be jumping into the back end. I sent you a DM with their email, so check your DMs on Discord, Jared. That's awesome, Garrett. Love that. Got here just in time for the first break. Welcome, Cross. Hope you're doing well. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know there was like a command to see all the commands. Ski, what's up, Ski? How you doing? Mayu, no Twitter post today? No post today because I wanted you to follow RC's fairy job mother instead. So if you do that, you're good. No, Miss Turner, sorry. What time do you normally go to? Hopefully you can join us afterwards. All right, folks, still got about 2 minutes, 30 seconds for our break. We always like to be healthy. We like to take a break at the top of the hour. If you're able, get out, stretch, move your hands, kiss some babies, feed some dogs. Do what you got to do. We'll be back in just 2 minutes. Booty liquor. Thank you for the hydration. Cheers to you. Let me get this drink on. Thank you for the hydration. Good to see you, Booty liquor. It's been a minute. Hope you're doing well. Got the Remo link from Friday. I'm gonna post it after class. After class, I'm just gonna put the actual video. I'm not gonna put the video on YouTube. I'm just gonna put it directly in our Discord. Simba Cam is under repair. I got stuff going on behind this green screen. I gotta finish it. Your tea needs some ice. It does. I ran out of time. Often I'm just like running to the green screen. Like often I'm I'm jumping into the chair. I live my life one Google Calendar invite at a time, and this one often cuts right into some other stuff. So. Whew, Sam with the heat. That's fire. I love that one. That's so good. A lot of these have been heat. Damn. 1 job, please. 5 jobs. 6 jobs. Let's go. A lot of these are just really good. I like if you all came with some of these up off the dome for the first time tonight. Oh baby. Wow. Can't wait for you to craft them a little bit more, and yeah. Alrighty folks, 30 seconds and we're jumping right back into the mix. Do what you gotta do. Hit me up, cheese, please. Happy. We're also gonna talk about it on Friday too. That's the way you do it, Sam. That's the way you do it. It is a good talent. It's helpful. Get you a lot of jams. Is it possible to make your story too dark? It can be. Just because remember, your story is like one goal, like why are you here? And you want to get past that sniff test. And most folks just want to pass you along as long as you pass the sniff. You don't want to be you want to be rememberable enough, but not too rememberable. You just want to get past the sniff test and into the engineers. Alrighty, welcome back, folks. Hope you had a good break. Let's jump right on into it. All right, I'm gonna chill the music here. All right. Hope you had a good break. Let's jump right into the online persona. This is setting the breadcrumbs to get you past the first engineering sniff test. The first engineering sniff test is, can you code? Now, you're going into technical interviews. For smaller companies, you can be guaranteed that the engineer that will be interviewing you will look at your profiles. Leon, how do you know engineers are looking at our profiles? Because I'm going to tell you to put Google Analytics on all of your sites, and we're going to look at your LinkedIn history to see the folks that you're interviewing with were on your website or were looking at you, right? And so there is a very high chance that when you interview, not only just like to get through the recruiter, but like the actual like engineer to engineer interview, there's a good chance that they've Googled you or looked at you. Cool. The powers combined are the portfolio, your Twitter, and your LinkedIn, right? Twitter. We saw some really good examples, right? One example when we did the freelancing class was Naya. I love Naya's Twitter. I'm going to show you Naya's Twitter. I have their permission to share. I love Naya's Twitter. You're an inclusive tech leader, founder, CTO, Afros and AI, software engineer, Black Tech Twitter, resilient coders, the homies for real. So this is great. I really like this. This is speaking about yourself so positively, and it's things that they've done well, right? This passes the sniff. It passes the sniff, right? You can go and look at Afros and AI. In fact, they got a mega client. They got a huge client through Afros and AI, right? So you want to be able to pass that sniff test, and your Twitter is part of it, right? How you talk about yourself on Twitter is part of it. If I find out that any of y'all have junior or aspiring anywhere in your Twitter bio, I'm showing up. I'm pulling up. I'm pulling up. If you have aspiring, if you have aspiring, or if you have junior in your title, take it out. Take it out right now. Talk about yourself. Nobody wants to hire somebody that's junior. Anybody that had a choice between a junior and a software engineer is going to pick software engineer all the time. And it's just about talking about yourself. This is one of those things where it's like, this is where I start to get the hate. This is where when I start to talk to other people in the space, they're like, Leon, how can you call yourself a software engineer? It's like, because I write code, damn it. Like, all my students write code. Tell me how they are not a software engineer. They know software engineering fundamentals and they write fucking code. What else do you need on your magical gatekeeping list of bullshit? So, get all of that aspirational shit out of your profiles. You are all software engineers. If you are here and you have written code, you are a software engineer. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. They're only trying to bring you down. They're only trying to harm you. It does nothing. It does nothing to be humble going into the application phase. It does nothing. We're going into the hunt. This is the hunt. It's called the hunt. We're not humble during the hunt. We're all trying to eat. It's not time to be humble. Not time to be humble. So, what you're going to do, if you haven't been on Twitter, you've been messing up. Twitter is a magical place where developers like to hang out. All right? It's a magical place where developers like to hang out. What I need you to do, not right now, but like part of the checklist, that will be due on next Tuesday. Part of that checklist for your Twitter is to make sure you have a professional headshot. Take a headshot with your phone. Remove the background if you have to. Here's a site I like to use, Remove BG. I'm going to put this in chat for y'all. Oh, where's my window? Here we go. Put this in chat for y'all. Put on a nice set of clothes. Take a nice headshot with, like, stand in front of a window so you have some nice natural light coming in. Give your best, I want a job, please, smile. If you have to, remove the background, right? Put something else nice in that background. Use Photopea or Figma or any of the free editing tools, and then put that up on your Twitter. I say no background because most people have like a messy background, right? Like most people have like it's like garbage, or so, there's always something weird, right? Like, there's always something weird in the background of some people's Twitter photos. So make sure it's professional. All right, make sure it's professional. Nice background. Nice background is okay. You got mountains or a nice brick facade, something that looks cute, keep it. But if it's just like your kitchen, get rid of it. Hide the bong. Exactly. Cool. Then, because we're going through the checklist here, folks. Exclamation point checklist if you need it. Professional headshot. Make sure your title somewhere says that you are a software engineer. You are a software engineer at 100 Devs, which is our agency. It is the company that we are running. You are all software engineers at 100 Devs. Make sure you have that you are a software engineer in your title. Put your location. Make sure you link to your portfolio. You should have a portfolio by now. If you don't have one, guess what you need to make this weekend? A portfolio. You're going to link that portfolio in your Twitter. I can't tell you how many times I go to Twitter just to find somebody's portfolio. No cap. Like, the Twitter for me is a portfolio finding tool. All right? Put your link on your Twitter. Then I want you, wherever you think you are going to be applying, If you think you will be applying in Austin, Texas, like that's going to be your home base for applying for jobs, I need you over the weekend to follow 50 engineers, 50 engineers, 50 engineers in that location. 50 Austin-based engineers. If you are remote, like you know that you're going for remote opportunities, you need to find a remote hashtag and follow 50 engineers using those remote hashtags. 50. 50. Yes. I'm seeing a lot of 50 question marks. 50. Why do you think I'm asking you to do this? Can I put 100 devs as work experience? Hell yeah. They call me, I'll answer. I love the all caps. Networking. It's so easy. For folks that hate talking to people, Twitter should be your jam. You should wake up and be like, Twitter fingers, right? Trigger fingers turn to Twitter fingers. You should be waking up every day excited to like, tweet, retweet. It's so easy. You're following 50 engineers in your location, just like their posts. Just like their posts. Retweet one every once in a while. Guess what? When it comes time to start like interviewing, or you need to like find somebody that works at a company, if you have been liking somebody's and retweeting somebody's post for 2 months, they like you. Especially if they don't have any followers. Like if it's just a random engineer, right? They don't have any followers. So if you're liking and retweeting their stuff, they're gonna like you. They're gonna, when you ask for a coffee chat, they're gonna be like, yeah, of course. Of course. Just software engineer, Rockefeller. Just software engineer. Right? This will literally be the easiest networking you could ever do. And when it comes time to finding a job, you're going back to these 50 to connect you to their networks. And so you're going to start by following, retweeting, liking. You should probably put some of your own content on a tool like Buffer. Like I hate being on social media. I just don't like it. I don't get it. I don't like it. But I know it's a really good tool. And so for a lot of my students that just like don't do social, what I tell them is to automate their content with Buffer. Take an afternoon, do 3 weeks, 4 weeks worth of content of tweets, load them into a free account on Buffer, which is like an auto posting tool, and let it start posting. But you should be really like, if you don't like want to put content out there, just do 1 day a month where you put all your content in there, set it to tweet every couple of days, right? But you should be really interacting, right? So I have a podcast that deals with cannabis. Should I divest my Twitter account from that podcast? It's up to you. I always tell my students to have professional socials. Like, if you've been wilding on Twitter, you should probably have a professional Twitter that you just do for this networking stuff. Now, will most people be upset by cannabis stuff? No. But will it limit your opportunities in certain jobs? Absolutely, yes. I have seen students not get through certain stages because when somebody put in their phone number, their Twitter popped up and their Twitter had a bunch of marijuana stuff on it. So be careful. People also link Twitters via phone numbers, and people will just throw your phone number in when they want to find you. Cool. So it's up to you. What kind of content? Just developer-related content. Tutorials you found, things that you enjoyed, things that you read on Hacker News or Reddit. Yeah, nothing too wild. Follow Sam. Sam has been crushing this, like absolutely crushing this. And so I think they're one of the people that you should look to see like how Twitter could literally change your life and give you opportunities, right? No, you can definitely have personal interests. You can definitely do things you're interested in. It's just that you want to have some developer related content just because it's such an easy tool. It's just an easy tool. Thank you, Alyssa, for posting Sam's stuff. Right? And then interact. You're going to add 50 engineers. Like their stuff. Leave comments. Interact with them. Because when it comes time to apply for a job, you can go to those 50 engineers and say, hey, I know we've been kind of Twitter buddies for a while. I see that there's an opening at the company you work at. Do you mind recommending me? And 99% of the time, they're going to say yes. They're going to be like, yes, we've been friends for months. I like you. I will be happy to recommend you. Thank you for always liking and commenting on my stuff. Exactly, Blah. And referral bonuses don't hurt. That's the other little secret we're going to talk about tonight. Most engineers get a referral bonus, meaning that they get some money just by connecting a new engineer that gets hired. So if you cannot get a referral and somebody is getting 10 grand per every referral they make, you see how like applying just doesn't make sense? Let's think about that for a second. If an engineer is making 10 grand for every person they refer, and you can't get a referral, what does that mean? Right? And 10 G's is like not absurd. Like that's middle. I've seen 5, I've seen 20. Like, so if the engineers are getting that much money to refer people, they should be referring everybody the entire nation. So if you can't get a referral, that says something. All right? If you're just clicking apply, you're going up against all the people that are getting referred. If you are just clicking apply, you are getting put up against the people that are getting referred. Guess who's going on the top of the stack, and guess who's going into the trash can? If you click apply, you might as well print out your resume and throw it in the trash can by yourself, because it's way better than just clicking apply. Exactly. Just to refer somebody. That's how much money they make. So this is the hack, folks. Do this. If you feel like more than 50, do more than 50. If your city's big, add more. And if you're remote, you want to follow remote engineers at different remote organizations. Cool. That's Twitter. LinkedIn Angel List. You want to set up both of these accounts. You want to make sure, again, you have a professional headshot. You want to make sure that you have your current role, software engineer at 100 devs. You want to make sure your location is set. So many people forget to set a location on LinkedIn. Make sure your location is set on LinkedIn, please. Make sure that your contact info is up to date. Can't tell you how many times I come across LinkedIn's. I'm trying to reach out to the person. I can't find how to contact them. Put your contact information on your LinkedIn, please. Wilson F. Baby and Rezo, thank you for the hydrations. Cheers to you. Cheers to you. Angel List is a place where startups and folks that want to invest in those startups kind of hang out. And now they also have job boards. So companies that are looking for engineers that want to work at startups can look at all the engineers' profiles, and engineers can look at the profiles of startups. So it's just kind of like another it's just like another place that is really popular for engineers to find jobs or to be found for jobs. Are you making both? Yeah. Well, if you already have one, that's fine. If you don't have one, you should be making it. If you do have one, you want to be cleaning it up based on the things that are in the checklist. Cool. Now, make sure you personalize your URL. Normally your LinkedIn URL is a hot mess. It's a bunch of letters and everything. But you can click those 3 dots and actually get a custom URL that's your name or first name, last name, dev, right? Highly, highly recommend you update your URL to have your full name. If you update your URL to have your full name, it's going to help rank in the search engines a little bit better, right? Make sure it's your name so that when people type in your name in the search engines, the LinkedIn is one of the first things that pop up. If you just leave the normal URL, it'll work, but not as well. So make sure you're changing the URL All right. Make sure you're changing the URL to be your full name, first name, middle name, last name. I don't delimit it. I just normally put the full thing. Yeah. And so this is one of those things that's going to help percolate when it comes to SEO. All right. Next, things somebody always, I'm going through the checklist here, folks. Things that people always forget is to put an about, like your blurb, like your story, the story that you're crafting, that should be in the about section. So in the about section, you should put that story. And then the last thing I'm going to skip to the end here is that you should join the 100 devs group. Go ahead and join that 100 devs group. We're going to do a little exercise here. Go ahead and join the 100 devs group. I don't know if I can. I don't know if my. Hold on. I got to see if I have messages turned up or not. Go ahead and join the group. And give everybody a few seconds to join the group. I was second. Let me pull this off to the screen real quick. I don't want to have somebody's like message pop up or something. All right. All right, I just approved 50 of y'all. So I think you have to request to join and I have to approve it. If you're live, I'm just going to approve it because you're live. So this is how you get in. Get in live, folks. Going to go ahead. I'm going to give you another minute and then I'm going to stop. So you got a minute to get in here. I can put the link in chat too. Cool. There's the link. Look at all these beautiful people. Ah. All right. Approved another batch of 50. Let me in. They're rolling in, folks. They're just rolling in. Gonna do another batch. Yes, I'm in. All right, I love it. Whew, another batch of 50. Let's go. Oh, look at y'all. Look at all these beautiful people. I'm just approving them. Join the link. I'm going to approve it, and then we're going to do something. The reason why you want to join right now is because we're going to do something next. We're going to do something that people aren't going to like, but we're going to do it. We're going to do something. We're going to hack the system here. You ready to hack the system? Yeah, we're going to hack the system. Jelani already knows what we're about to do. Jelani already knows. All right, I'm going to do another batch. Luck Monkey. Hey, thank you for the 7 months. That's wild. Thank you for being here. Hope you're doing well. All right, last batch for tonight. Oh, got a few more here. All right, everybody that requested so far has been approved. Now here's where it gets a little here's where it gets a little fun, folks. Here's where it gets a little fun. Spaghetti about it. Thank you for the 6 months. Thank you for being here. All right. You ready for this, y'all? Let's hack the system. Y'all just joined the group. I want you to find 5 folks in that group. I want you to find 5 folks. And I want you to add them and then endorse them for JavaScript, Node, and React. JavaScript, Node, and React. And if you see people that you know, that's cool. Do it. But do it random so everybody gets some. And if we're gonna do a couple rounds of these, not tonight, but we'll do it another night. But go ahead and endorse them for JavaScript, Node, and React. Let me pull one up here. Let me pull one up here. See if I can do it. Let me do it off this side here. I don't want to show anybody's personal stuff, so I'm not going to do it on the screen here. Yeah, I think that could be bad news because it's also like the messages are popping up. I don't know how to turn them off. But go ahead. Add 5. And then endorse them. JavaScript, Node, React. Go to the person's skills. And in the skills, hold on. Let me see. I forgot that I should have done this. I just don't want to pull up somebody's stuff and put them on blast. Let me do one here. 1 second. Let me pull one up. I know you're all busy doing it, so keep doing it. All right, so I'm gonna pull up Debacle. You were the first one I saw, actually. All right, Debacle, here you are. So I've added Debacle or James as a connection here on LinkedIn, and then down here on the skills and endorsements. On the skills and endorsements, you can click the plus sign. How good is James at JavaScript? Highly skilled. How do you know about James' skills? We have worked directly on the same team or project. Submit. Oh, sorry. I was in Big Leon. I'm sorry. You wanted Little Leon, I was Big Leon. React.js. Highly skilled. Worked together directly. Node.js. Highly skilled. Work directly. Submit. Boom. If you're doing that for 5 folks. If you're doing that for 5 folks. You have to connect them first. You got to connect them. You got to connect them. And then once you add them as a connect, give it a second to refresh. Give it a second to refresh. If you can't see them all, just go ahead and do it. Just do whatever you see. Just do 5 for tonight. Just do 5 for tonight. Do 5 for tonight. What do you mean it's a lie? We've been working on 100 devs for months now. Get out of here. Just 5. Just 5. That's the group. That's the group if you still need the group. Can I accept your request? I will accept your request to the group. 1 second. Let me pull this up over here. Folks, we're pulling out all the stops tonight. We're doing it all. All right. There's still, 22 more people. All right, I got y'all. Approved. Approved. All right, everyone that applied has been approved. All right, now what will have happened is you might have had a lot of requests that came through or some other stuff that happened. So as you take a break tonight, or when stream's over, you should check your request and your endorsement. Sometimes it takes a little bit, sometimes a little bit of lag, but we're gonna do a couple rounds of these. All right, we're gonna do a couple rounds of these. So if it didn't happen tonight, don't worry, we'll make it a little bit more official next time. But feel free to add folks in the 100 Devs group that you know that you've interacted with. All right, especially if you've seen them on Discord, you hung out with them here on Twitch chat. Add them, endorse them. We're hacking the system, folks. Now, why does this matter? Well, we know that most hiring is automated. Most hiring is automated. It is. Your resumes are going through a robot, and the folks reaching out to you are all robots. These endorsements are a very easy way to now have more recruiters coming your way. All right? So, it's one of those little hacks. We're going to keep it going. Don't worry. Come back. You're going to have requests coming in. You're going to have endorsements coming in. Don't worry. Save those for break or after stream. Come back. We're going to keep it going. Keep it going. All right. Next thing I said your Twitter should be linked to your portfolio, which means that you need a portfolio. There's 2 portfolios that I've shown you in the past that are amazing portfolios. If we look at Ibrahim's Twitter links to their GitHub. Look at this beautiful GitHub. And this beautiful GitHub links to their beautiful portfolio. This portfolio is simple. It has their story that you all were crafting earlier today, has some recent works, has very simple what they've done before, a contact form, and that's it. So we're not talking rocket surgery here, folks. We're just talking basics. This portfolio, this Twitter, and their hustle got them a job at Amazon right out of our bootcamp. All right? I'm a rocket doctor. And so when I say the portfolio, you got 2 really great examples here. Both of these examples have gotten them above $1,000 for clients and jobs at Amazon. And they're not wild. All right? And my man Sean didn't even spend $1 on their domain name. They use Netlify's, right? Just their name.netlify.app. You don't have to spend any money to get your portfolio up, folks. You can use a free template. You can host it for free. You can use a free domain. No need to spend any money. My man did not spend any money. Got a $1,500 client and a job at Amazon. Here's my logic for if you should use a template for your portfolio. If you are a designer, design your portfolio. If you are not a designer, use a template. I'm going to say it again. If you're not a designer, use a template. It's one of those controversial things that people come up with. Leon, well, how can they, they're developers. Shouldn't they be developing their portfolio? No, they're not designers. They're developers. They build stuff. So like, what are you smoking? Like, are you real right now? Like, are you really asking me like why they didn't design their own portfolio when they are a developer? Like, what is going on in your head right now? I just don't get it. So, free templates that aren't shady as fuck. HTML5up.net. If you've gotten a client, got some money coming in, and you want to pay for a better template, which you don't have to, these are 2 sources that folks kind of normally go to for their kind of template needs. Cool. But most of y'all could find a great one on here. Use that. Never pay a dime. Yeah. My blog is a template. Like if you go to leonnoel.com, I love it. It's beautiful. It's fast. It's free. I'm not paying to host this at all. This is all hosted for free on Netlify. if you look, this blog is built with Gatsby using the Gatsby Starter Lumen, which is extended to what you see here by Victor Joe or Zoe. And so, boom. I love it. The cool thing about Gatsby is that I push a README file. Basically, I push a file to GitHub and my blog auto deploys. So I just have one file that I change, I push, and it just goes live. I don't have to do anything like that. How can we understand templates? Well, templates are often very tricky bits of code because you didn't build any of it. So since you didn't build any of it, you got to spend some time digging through it and seeing how everything is working. But if you feel good with your HTML and CSS, you should be able to make templates work. So, but know that it's going to be a little bit of digging, a little bit of time to get it working. I've had a LinkedIn account for about an hour. All right. Hosting, you don't have to pay money for hosting. Netlify.com/drop. It's free. You can put it on there for free. GitHub Pages, free. Free hosting for your portfolios. Domains, if you do want to buy a domain, I've used Namecheap for years. I want my name. There's really only two that I trust. Or Netlify app for free. If somebody can get a $1,500 client and a job at Amazon with a free domain, so can you. Where are the slides? Exclamation point slides. That'll give you the slides for today. How much personality should we show on our portfolio? That's up to you. I think showing some of your personality is always a great thing, as long as it's not falling into any of the unrecoverables, right? As long as you're not doing something that you don't feel like you could recover from, you're probably fine, and probably showing some of your personality will help you stand out. A lot of my students just go the straight professional route. They're here to make money, and they don't care to put anything in their portfolios except for what they think is going to help them get the job, which I think is totally fine. That'd be cool. Debacle could do they're going to do an HTML5 up walkthrough. So take a template and walk through it. I think that'd be cool. You had a highlighted message a while ago. I'm sorry, Jimmy. If you post it again, I'll take a peek at it. Sorry, sometimes chat goes a little fast. Alrighty. Hold on, real quick. Let me create a command real quick. Whoop. All right, let's already beat me to it, of course. Let me make it a Nightbot command real quick. Sorry, bear with me 1 second. Alrighty. Cool. So now we have a Nightbot command for the LinkedIn group. Dope. So if you do exclamation point LinkedIn, it'll take you to the group. Alrighty. Resume. Let's talk about your resume, folks. You need a resume. These are all things that are part of the checklist. Pam CCC with the 5 months of Jeff Bezos's bucks. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Let's keep it going. I love it. Like I said, folks, we're doing some of the basics right now, but we're going to keep giving the little things that are going to give you the edge. The little things that are going to give you the edge. Might be controversial, but we're going to do them. All right, your resume. I've given you all a template for the resume. If you want to use my template, you can. It is, let's go ahead and open link in new tab. It's a beautiful template. It's written for Bob Coder. Has everything that you would need for your resume. No need to go and spend money on a fancy resume builder. Has everything you need. It has the skills that you'll have. It has how you can talk about your experience at 100 Devs. It has how you can talk about your freelancing experience. So this is what I would use. Just gets all the good stuff done, gets all the highlights. And then what you want to do is run your resume through CV Compiler. Don't pay for anything. Don't pay for anything, right? Run your resume through CV Compiler to see what people see. Whole arm. Hey, thank you for the prime. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that. Really do. Thank you. Spending Jeff Bezos' money. All right. So, build your resume, run it through CV Compiler. Now, here's the thing about your resume. You all are going to have, how many resumes are you all going to have? Chat, put in chat how many resumes you think you're going to have. How many resumes do you think you're going to have? Put it in chat. Just the bell. Hey, thank you for the hydration. Cheers to you. $41. The answer is 41. You are all going to have 41 different resumes, 41 different cover letters. 41 is the number. What? What are you saying? Did you just say 41? I did just say 41. What is the reason? What is the reason? The reason is you should be tailoring your resume, your cover letter, even your other stuff we've talked about, even your portfolio to the job that you're applying to. You want to hack? Chat, do you want to hack? Chat, do you want to hack? I'm going to tell you a hack right now. When you give your portfolio to a company that you're very interested in applying to, you should have a landing page. You should have a landing page for that company. What? You should have a landing page specifically for that company. If you're applying to the company, this should be leonnoel.com/Amazon. leonnoel.com/Game Freak. So looking around my room for like different company names. How's that for a fancy touch? No. Wait a minute. Leon, that seems like a wild thing to do. Well, if you're using a template, how hard is it really to tailor a landing page to a specific company? How hard would it be? Not that hard. Maybe a few minutes of work. Not really. You could set up a script that does it automatically. Right? So yeah, you're going to not only have a resume tailored to each company, a cover letter tailored to each company, you're going to have a portfolio tailored to each company. Now, you're saying, Leon, what should go into all this stuff? Don't worry, we're going to have classes on all of that. As our Fridays keep going, we're going to have classes on it. But this is what you're signing up for, folks. I'm giving you the hacks. I'm giving you every little bit of juice you can use to help you stand out. Whole arm. Ooh, thank you for the 1,000 bits. That's wild. Been going through the class on YouTube. Can't thank you enough. Well, hey, thank you for being here. Hope you're having some fun learning about all of this wonderful how to get a job stuff. Hi, company name. Thanks for stopping by. Here's your job description paraphrased back to you as a list of stuff that I know. Boom. That's it. 2 seconds. You got it. Slam dunk, Sam. Exactly. So we'll see some examples. We'll do that together. But yeah, you're doing everything you can do to get past the sniff test to stand out. This is one of them. Cover letter. I've given you an example here. If you want to take a look at that cover letter, just kind of, it's answering a few questions. If you're looking at the checklist as well, the checklist has some things that your cover letter should have. How you found the job. Did you know anyone at the company? What role are you applying to? What's the company? Is there a specific team that you're applying to? And are there some qualities that make you a good fit for the role? So you're looking for all of those things. Like if you're looking at this professional checklist, exclamation point checklist in chat. If you're looking through the checklist, here are the things that you're looking for. Right? And you're gonna do one of these bad boys for all of our companies. Oops, sorry. There you go. So there you go. That's your cover letter right there. We're going to go through some of this a little bit fast, but like you come back to the checklist, you come back to the cover letter. Your examples are here. You can take this. You can just change around what you don't want. Putting your stuff, boop, 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 right? Right. Plug it in, but your base is here. I got you. I got you. I got you. You got a cover letter. You got your resume. You got your checklist so you don't forget stuff. I got you. You feel that? I got you. What happens when we're all using this and applying for the same jobs? Well, the cool thing about 100 devs is that you're all not in one city. You're all over the place. And you all have different experiences and backgrounds that are going to make you stand out. The beauty is, like, if there's 300 of all of us in, like, one location, this would suck. But the point is, we're all over the world. We're international, baby. So the chances of somebody spending 6 seconds... Remember, they only spend 6 seconds on this. They only spend 6 seconds. So the likelihood of somebody spending 6 seconds on it and then 100 applications later spending 6 seconds on another one and being like, wait a minute, I've seen this before. That's never going to happen. Never going to happen. Never going to happen. Frankly, I'm just overwhelmed. I'm telling you, there's a lot. I told y'all, it's a lot. You got to make a decision. Today's the day. It wasn't yesterday. It's not tomorrow. Today's the day. Is that switch going to go off in your head and be like, you know what? This is worth it. Or is it not? And it's okay. It's okay if the switch doesn't go off. But for some of y'all, the switch is going to go off today and be like, fuck it. That's what I got to do. I'm going to do it. And it's going to pay off. I guarantee it. Heads up, in case you don't already, add the skills to your LinkedIn so that people can endorse them. Okay? Make sure you added the skills to your LinkedIn so people can endorse them. Cool. Leah, we need to quick learn Node and React now. Hell yeah, that's what we're doing. That's why we're manifesting here, folks. You put it on your LinkedIn, it's going to happen next week. That's how life works. You put it on your LinkedIn and then it happens. All right. GitHub. Look at my man's beautiful GitHub. Look at this Twitter. Whew. Oh, look at this Twitter. Look at this GitHub. Look at this GitHub. Hey, Leon, do the endorsements matter? They do because it helps recruiters find you. That's why the endorsements matter. The robots that are crawling your profiles, they look at that stuff. Look at this. This is crispy. Nice photo at the top. Using their story again. No, this story pops up everywhere, folks. Skill set. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, baby. Look at that. Look at those scrolling. Oh, tweet scheduler. There's Sean. What's up? Portfolio. What? Connect with them directly in the profile. I haven't even gotten to the code yet. They are A+, folks. A+. Look at that streak. Oh. Whew. Look at that. And the cool thing is just the README file. It's just a README file. You can look at that README file. I don't know, it's somewhere in here. But you can just look at that README file and copy and paste if you wanted to, honestly. It's just a README file. This is the new thing on GitHub. It's just a README file. Now, if you're on the slides, if you snooped a little bit, there's this profile generator that I've linked to you. There's a couple of them. There's like 2 or 3 of them that are popular right now. This is one of them where you just plug your stuff in here and then it spits out the README file for you. Yeah. So yeah, just use one of the generators. This one is pretty cool. Ibrahim's, I think, is in the README file as well. They're pretty common. You can just do like GitHub profile generators and You plug it in and boop, 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 you got it. Takes like 2 seconds. Yeah. So that's the profile. Make your GitHub profiles crispy. If you got some dusty GitHub profile, come on, get out of here. Let's go ahead to leonnoel.com/GitHub. Mine's not dusty, right? But I got the README here at least, you know? You gotta at least have the README. You gotta at least have the README in there now. You can't be somebody without a README on their GitHub. All right. But y'all want a job, get on Ibrahim's level. See, the things that I'm showing you, like, people say, Leon, how did they get a job at Amazon straight out of a boot camp? They had a job before they graduated. How did that happen? How is that magic? And I'm like, well, does your Twitter look like this? Does your portfolio look like this? Does your GitHub look like this? Did you not miss a green square the entire time you were in your boot camp? Did my mans miss a single day his entire boot camp? This is Sean. He went to Amazon. It's not magic. Look at Sean. Look at this. This is crispy. Same thing. Looks good. Did my mans miss a day ever pushing the GitHub? No. So when a recruiter from Amazon looks at this and they got to do a quick sniff, they pass. Easy pass. Easy pass. The recruiter doesn't even look at it. The recruiter doesn't even look at the code of the project. They're like, oh, this looks great. Look at this. I've never seen this before. Greens. Look at all that green. Look at all that green. The recruiters are besides themselves. It's not magic. It's not magic how they got jobs. They busted their ass, and everything that I'm showing you tonight, they did, and they took it to the next level. It's not just enough to put it at the base. They took it to the next. And y'all got the cheat codes tonight. Y'all are getting the real life cheat codes. Now it's up to you if you want to put them into play. So this weekend, make sure you use one of those profile generators so your GitHub looks crispy. You know they're going to look at it. You know the recruiters are going to look at it. You know the engineers that want to hire you are going to look at it. Make it look good. Now, here's the other big one. This is another big one. This is where a lot of people mess up. This is Alec Ortega, one of the longest standing mentors that we've had at Resilient Coders. They put this together, what was it, a couple years ago. This is a README template for every single thing you should ever push to GitHub. Whenever you push anything to GitHub, this is the template you should be using. This is the template you should be using right here. What the heck? My monitor says it's going to turn off for some reason. This is the template you should be using. Look, it's not anything wild. It's just a README. So you can see the actual, like, if we look at the raw here, it's just a markdown file, right? Just normal README, but it looks so good. It looks so good. And what it does is it's just the things that you should have, right? It's just the things that you should have. So you should have a title of your project. You should have a quick sentence about what it does, a link to the product that's live. Wait, I'm on the wrong page. Sorry. There we go. A link to the project that's live. Why did this just break? I did something weird, but anyway, it should be a link to the project that's live, right? A picture of your project. Take a screen capture of the project. And if you noticed on Ibrahim's and Sean's GitHubs, it wasn't just pictures. What was it, folks? What was it? It's GIFs. It's GIFs. They're moving pictures, folks. They went the extra step. It wasn't just an image. That shit scrolled. It moved. It moved. It's just a little bit of flavor. A little bit of flavor. Anybody comes to your GitHub repo, they're going to know what it is, how it's made. Keywords, folks. Keywords. The recruiters have their robots. The robots are crawling around the web. They're trying to find you, right? Put the freaking keywords in the GitHub repo with your freaking name on it, right? If your name is tied with JavaScript for the hundreds of repos that you're going to have during the bootcamp, SEO. SEO. Every single thing you push to GitHub should have this README. Every single thing. You're going to have your keywords in there so the robots can do their work. You're going to talk about how you made it. You're going to talk about optimizations. This right here. This right here is what's going to save you time and time again. This is what's going to save you. The optimizations are like, well, if I had more time, this is what I would do, right? If I had more time, this is what I would do. Because that shows somebody that's looking at your code going like, why didn't they do this? Well, it's in the optimizations, fool. If I had more time, I would have done these things. I would have added this. I would have done that, all right? So you get the credit for stuff that you haven't even done because they're trying to figure out what you know, right? They're trying to figure out what you know. And so if you put, well, this is what I would have done, then they're like, oh, okay, they know what they're talking about, and they move on. Lessons learned, this is great, like a little bit of a reflection, what you learned while going through the project. And then this is the most important. This is the most important. Links to your other projects, either on GitHub or in your portfolio. Because what you want to do is you want people to get lost. People to get lost in your GitHub. You want them just to be clicking back and forth between all your projects. So once you have like 3 or 4, which you all should have on GitHub, you want to make sure that you're linking in between them so that when they're done looking at this one, they're like, oh, cool. And they jump to the next one. You jump to the next one. Cool. All right. We are going to take a break. We're at the top of the hour. If you are new here, welcome. We are running a free 30-week software engineering bootcamp. If you want to learn all the details, !100 devs will tell you everything you need to know. We have amazing classes here on Twitch and the best community online for learning how to code. Join us on Discord. We're going to take 5 minutes. We're in this for the long haul, folks. We're in this for the rest of our lives, for the rest of our careers. We don't take this lightly. We need to give our hands a break, our eyes a break. We need to stay healthy. We take a break at the top of the hour every hour. So I'm going to go ahead and put 5 minutes on the clock. We're just getting started, folks. We're just getting started. You got some of the cheat codes. You got to come back and get the rest. 5 minutes on the clock. So many tabs open right now. Exactly. I missed the drink. I'm sorry about that. Urbog, thank you so much for the hydration. Cheers to you. Boom. Skull. Let me go ahead and put some break music on here. Let's get funky. Will, thank you for the hydration. Cheers to you. Should we be going through this level of detail when we're pushing code wars? I like to push all my code wars to one repo. That one repo should have a really nice README. That repo should explain like why you're doing like should have all this stuff here, but just for the base repo is fine. You don't have to do that for every code wars. I just push all my code wars to one repo. Blowing up my LinkedIn. Another one. Thank you, Alyssa. Thank you for posting the link. I just got back, had to go cook dinner. How do we get accepted? If you click the link, I'll accept you right now. I've just been accepting people in waves. So I'll go back to it now. Purpose. All right, folks. Seriously, if you're here, you're new, we like to be healthy, please. Just get a little stretch. Stand up, get a little stretch. I'm going to do it in a second. I want to add these people to the LinkedIn group. All right, everybody that just applied, you've been approved. I am going to take a little stretch. Leon, does this class start over from the beginning? Possibly in the summer, but we have a review class on Sunday. Everything that you need to know to get caught up, we'll be going over on Sunday, so you can join us back here on Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Anything that you would need from the beginning to get you caught up before we go into the back end. So definitely join us there, and then you can work through the back classes. On the exclamation point 100 devs, there is a way to catch up. It's like all the stuff you need to catch up. Cool. I'm going to get a stretch in real quick. Burb. Be healthy, y'all. Get a stretch in. I don't know if y'all heard that. Whew. Oh, yeah. Thanks for hiring me at 100 devs. You're welcome, Izzy. Glad to have you on board. All right, we got 2 minutes left on the break, folks. Sonny, I just learned how to fix a security issue on GitHub. Felt like a level up. Hey, let's go. Got a lot of new folks today. Welcome all. Everyone that followed, welcome, welcome. If you're hanging out and you haven't followed yet, go ahead and click that follow button. We're a nice community. You should join us here on Twitch every Tuesday, Thursday for class, Sunday for office hours and review. And then we got the best Discord community, folks. Exclamation point Discord. If you need help learning any code, there's folks, wonderful mentors there to help you. Fellow 100 devs members there to help you. Come on through. Love to have you. I wish you could get everyone a taste of the pasta I just made. It's off the charts. Love it. I missed the GitHub section. Got to figure it out. Catch the VOD. Catch the VOD. Run it back. What do you think of going through free code camp? I think it's great, but it's very handheld. So the problem with it is that like it's hard. Like you gotta get out and build and break stuff, and so that's my only problem with it. I think if you're brand new, you've never touched code before, phenomenal resource. But you gotta get off of it quick and build and break stuff. Is using Git UI to make changes frowned upon? I mean, like, I think it's just that you want to get used to your tools, right? And so getting used to the terminal and using your terminal to do things is something you're going to do throughout your entire career. So you should get used to using it. I don't think it's not necessarily frowned upon. It's just that your terminal is so useful, and it's not that hard to learn how to do it through the terminal, and it can be a skill that compounds over time. Will there be more of these? Would love to join the group, but just saw this in current month is too busy. Yeah, so join us. Do exclamation point 100 devs tells you 100 devs tells you everything that you need to know, and then join our Discord. That's the easiest way to stay connected. Cool. If you do this full time, how long would it take to get a job? It depends on the pace. My students that I teach during the day, so I work at a nonprofit called Resilient Coders. Our students go from zero, never having touched code before, to hired at companies like Amazon in 20 weeks. But they bust their ass for those 20 weeks. It's 10-hour days every day. Here we're doing a 30-week program where in 30 weeks with 2 classes a night, we're giving you all the things that you're going to need to get employed. Prestige, hey, thanks for stopping by. All right, folks, come on back. Come on back. What are the skills we're endorsing again? JavaScript, Node, React. $20 weeks. Yeah, the bootcamp I run during the day is 20 weeks. We've been doing 30 weeks for 100 devs. Cool. 5 months, exactly. All right, folks, come on back. Come on back. Let's get into it. All right. Whew. Whew. Let's chill the music here. All right. Here's what you're buying into, folks. Here's what you're buying into. They're at Amazon. Why are they at Amazon? Why is my, like the, y'all hear that? That's weird. I don't know what that is. Why are they at Amazon? Green squares, baby. All those green squares. That's months of hard work. That's pushing every day. Push every day. If you are here, I am tasking you with pushing code every day. We're trying to pass that sniff test, and this is the easiest way. This is the easiest way. This is, oh, I'm going to say it again. This is the easiest way to pass the sniff test. I can't tell you how. Hey, do you know how to code? Did you see my GitHub, bro? Did you see my GitHub? Have you seen it? Have you seen the green squares? Of course I know how to code. I push every day. Push every day. This is the easiest way to get past the sniff test. The easy way to get past the sniff test. Because I guarantee you, other folks coming out of degree programs, other folks coming out of other boot camps, they don't stick to this. I look at their GitHubs. They're trash. They're hot garbage. Hot garbage. They don't look like this. They're not on this level. They're not on this level. I got too many mice. I don't even know what mouse I'm using. They're not on this level. It's not hard either. Like, yes, it's work. Yes, you got to do it, but the idea is simple. Push every day. They're dusty. Electro Jesus. Hey, thank you for the 3 months. Hi, right back. Glad you're here. Thank you, Luck Monkey. Missed you. Hope you're doing well. So it's not rocket surgery, folks. Push every day. Get your squares. Get your squares. Because recruiters love their green squares, folks. They do, I do. They love their green squares. You know what? Here's the thing. No recruiter in the history of recruiting, no recruiter ever got in trouble for passing somebody's GitHub that looked like this to the next round. Somebody could be the worst developer that's ever existed. No recruiter that ever pushed somebody like this to the next round ever got something said to them. Well, hey, I looked at their GitHub. They're pushing every day. It's 1,000 contributions in the last year. If that's not somebody that can code, I don't know, right? Never got in trouble for pushing somebody whose GitHub looked like that to the next round. So that's why your GitHub needs to look like this. It's just enabling the recruiter to get past the sniff test because they know no engineer is going to look at them and be like, why did you send this person to us? Well, look at their GitHub. They push every day. All right. Now, funny commentary has the heat. You should be pushing code every day, not only because recruiters love the green squares, but because we know what spaced repetition does for our learning. We know what spaced repetition does for our learning. We know that's the only way to not forget stuff, and we know it is the way to learn. Now, funny commentary says something in chat that I've seen. I've seen people do it to great success. There are scripts that you can run that every day would push for you, that would give you that green square. Guarantee you people are doing it. I've seen one that spells out stuff. Like it'll use darker squares on certain days so you can spell out like hire me. That's it. Now here's the, I shouldn't even say this. I'm going to say it. Here's the real hack. You miss a day. You're trying to get that solid wall. You miss a day. you can just change the time and date on your computer and push. That'll show up on that date and time that your computer set at. You didn't hear that from me, though. I didn't say that. You didn't hear me say that. You didn't hear me say that. Next. All right, we're going to keep moving. All right. Daddy Yankee by any means necessary. Leon, I'm telling the nuns. All right. If you go to CS career questions, you see one of these like once a month, one of these pop up. Having trouble finding a job out of college, 400 plus. What the fuck? 400 plus applications, no luck. You know how I know this person fucked up? It wasn't the 400 applications. It wasn't the 400 plus applications. You know how I know this person fucked up? Luck. Luck. Has nothing to do with luck. We can take luck out of the equation. Has nothing to do with luck. As soon as I hear luck, I'm thinking, oh, you were just applying. You didn't get referred. There's no way you got referred to 400 companies. No way you got referred to 400 applications. Nah. You were clicking apply. Chat, what's applying doing? What would be a better use of your time than clicking apply? Chat, tell me what would be a better use of your time than clicking apply. You should pull up your resume, print it out, light it on fire, Kobe it into a trash can, and call it a day. That's better than clicking apply. So I know there's no way in hell you're getting recommended to 400. No. And so then I see this, I mean, I respond, I try to help people, but like, you got to realize that clicking apply doesn't work. And there are people that will grind out applications for a year and be like, wait a minute, I didn't have any luck. No, it's not luck. Show me your GitHub. Show me your Twitter. Show me your portfolio. Is it crispy? Is it the next level? Did you go the extra step? Do you have images or do you have GIFs, my man? Do you have images or do you have GIFs? What do you got? What do you got? Because I guarantee you're not taking that extra step. Guarantee you're not taking that extra step. Guaranteed. Cool. All right. This right here is the most important thing you will ever do for your career. Let me run that back. This right here is the most important thing you will ever do for your career. This right here. I like to call it the hit list. At RC, we call this the hit list. This is what probably takes up the bulk of our program. It's what's going to take up the bulk of your time going forward. Use the sheet. So, the sheet that we've always been using, right? The sheet that we've always been using now has an extra tab, folks. Has 2 tabs now. Let's take a look at the sheet. So here's the networking sheet that you've all been familiar with, that you should have all been putting your networked connections into. If you look down here, boom. Oops, sorry. My head's in the way. Networking. Right here. Networking. Hit list. Cool. Hit list. Now with 100% more tab. Let's forget about it. That's funny. All right. Here we go. company name, date added, URL, role position, type of position, source, like where you got the role from, name, and this is the point of contact. Wait a minute. All right, so Leon, I found a job online. Great. Here you go. You put all the information you need for that job that you found online. Great. Next thing, point of contact. What's their name, position, email, applied? Wait, hold on. Name, position, email. Wait a minute. I thought I was just going to click apply. No. 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 This is 60 networked recommended applications. 60 networked recommended applications. Recommended. That's a good recommended applications. So what's that mean? That means you got to find the hiring manager. You find the job that's a good fit. It's a good fit. It's a good fit. The job's a good fit. It's an entry-level software engineering role. It's using JavaScript. It seems to be in your wheelhouse. You don't click apply. You find the hiring manager. You add their name, their email to the hit list. You follow them on Twitter. You find their email. I like to use Hunter.io. You get so many free. You get so many free. You can just create another email if you need more free. After you've added them on Twitter, you found their email, you're going to ask for a coffee chat. Hey, love what you're doing. Love what you are doing. Doing great work. Love your tweets. Like them all. I would love to hear how you got to where you're at. Can we have a coffee chat? You all are experts at coffee chats now. This isn't new. If you're new here to the stream, welcome. We've been doing coffee chats for months. You're going to ask for a coffee chat. After your coffee chat, you're going to send a thank you. Now, if the role should come up, great. If the notion that they have an open position comes up, great. Hey, that's cool. I didn't know that. An open role, you say? Oh, that's interesting because I'm looking for a job. Would you feel comfortable recommending me for this position? Yeah, okay. We just had a coffee chat. Great. Yeah, of course. I'm gonna get $5,000 to recommend you, and I just had a coffee chat. So yeah, of course I'm recommending you. You seem like a great person. I'm gonna recommend you. Perfect. Great. Send them a thank you message saying, hey, it was wonderful having the coffee chat. Thank you for mentioning the job. I'm currently looking. Can you recommend me? Boom. If during the coffee chat the role doesn't come up, that's okay. Don't ask. Keep the relationship alive. Eventually, a week or two later, say, hey, I see that you have an open role. We met last week for the coffee chat. Would you mind recommending me for that role? Cool. You're like, Leon, I found the hiring manager. What should I do next? Great. Now find the engineer that's on that team. Find the engineer that's on that team. Add them to the hit list. Follow them on Twitter. Find their email. Ask them for a coffee chat. If you've already applied, say, hey, I saw this role. It's open. I applied. I met so-and-so last week. They were great. I would love to ask you a few questions about your time at the company. Right? So you already met the hiring manager. You already talked to them. They already said, all right, apply. They've recommended you to apply. You reach out to an engineering team and say, hey, I just applied for this role. You seem like a wonderful person. I would love to pick your brain about your experience at the company. This works like 35% of the time. Like 30, 40% of the time this works. But the cool thing is, who do you think is going to wind up interviewing you? This is all virtual coffee chats. Please don't meet up somebody in real life yet. Who do you think is going to wind up interviewing you? This person right here. They're probably gonna be the one that's interviewing you. And you've already had a coffee chat with them. You've already been proactive. And like while your application's like going through the thing that it has to go through, you've already met them. You've already hung out with them. You're bros. You've dropped your magic cards on the table by accident. Leon, how do you know that the person's going to be interviewing? You don't. But if you're applying to a specific team and this person's on the team, good chance. Good chance. Find the recruiter. Same thing. You found the hiring manager. You found an engineer on the team. You found the recruiter. Same thing. Doing the legwork here, folks. How do you just find the engineer, though? LinkedIn. That's all it is. You put the company in on LinkedIn. You look for all the engineers. You look to see who's on that team that you're applying to. That's it. Now, for huge companies, does this work? No. But for like 100-person companies, does this work? All damn day. And most of you won't join a huge company. You're going to join a 100-person company where it's very easy to go on LinkedIn, find out who's on the team, and reach out to them directly. Excellent question, Kat. Kat said, should we not find the recruiter first? No. Don't talk to the recruiter. The recruiter wants to talk to you. The recruiter wants to talk. It's their job to talk to you. By the time you get to the recruiter, you've already talked to the hiring manager. You've already talked to the engineers on the team. The recruiter is just there to do the paperwork. This is a wrap. This is a done deal. They know you. They like you. You've already passed the second of the two questions. Do I want to spend the next 2 years with you? All right. The recruiter, you go to the recruiter. Hey, hiring manager just referred me. I talked to Bob last week. Just wanted to touch base because I saw you were the one that posted the job. I hope things are going well. How can I move my application along? And they're going to be like, wait a minute. Bob already likes you? You met Bob? Yeah, me and Bob go way back, like last week or so. All right. So don't worry about this process right now. Like this finding the folks. We're going to have a whole class just on like this thing right here. Right. Like on this whole thing, like this thing right here is going to be a whole Friday. But once you found the recruiter, like once you found the hiring manager, once you found the engineer, once you found the recruiter, then you find their mama. Add them to your hit list. Find their Twitter. Send them an email. Ask them for a coffee chat. Send a thank you. Ask them for the recommendation. Please don't follow. Please don't find their mama. I mean, if you really want the job, don't let me stop you. Do what you got to do. All right. Please, for the love that is all that is beautiful in this world, for the love of everything, if you have 1 ounce of respect in your body for me, listen to me when I say this. Don't ever just click apply. Friends don't let friends click apply. You are balling up your trash. You're balling up your resume, lighting it on fire, and Kobeing it into a trash can. It does you no good. All right. Here's the rub, my folks. Here's the rub. Here is the rub. 30 high-value apps. Woo! Imran, thank you for the 6 months of Jeff Bezos' bucks. Leon Rel Presidente. Hey, I'll take it. Let's go. Thank you so much. Back in Dev said, laugh out loud. There's a secret. Oh, we've been unveiling the secrets all night. The secrets have been coming out all night. All right. 30 high. Remember, how many? Chat, please put in chat. I need everyone in chat right now. How many applications? How many applications are you going to be recommended through? Whales eat krill. Thank you for the hydration. Cheers to you. And Hardwick, I see you. I'm going to get that stretch in for you. I'll be right back. I got to do a stretch first. Thank you for the stretch. And cheers to you for the hydration. Let me go ahead and scroll here so I can see the full names. Shayla, thank you for the stretch. And Walesy Krill, thank you for the hydration. Cheers to you. No. So here's the thing. I tripped you up with some numbers here. It's 60 total applications. 60 total applications where you are networking your way in. Not clicking apply. 60 networked applications. Of those 60, 30 are going to be high value applications. Like company, like out of the 60, the 30 are going to be ones you like. You kind of want to work at, like you want to work at, that you're going to put the effort into. We're talking custom resume, custom cover letter. Your story matches the prompt for the job. Right? That's what I'm talking about. High value, custom resume, custom cover letter, custom story, custom landing page on your portfolio for 30 of them. Then you have 10 premium. These are the 10 companies that make it to your hit list that you really want to work at, that you are like super pumped, super excited. So you had 30 high value, and then 10 that you're like, Leon, this is the place I want to work. Those 10 companies, you're gonna bend all, like you're gonna twist and turn and do everything you can to make these stand through the roof. So what does that mean? All the custom stuff we've talked about, but you're gonna tailor some other stuff to them. If they are a 3D printing company, you should probably tweet about 3D printing. Like a Bulbasaur. Oh, sexy. On your blog, maybe talk about 3D printing. And then maybe you should have a small app that shows that you can do something with 3D printing. What did you just say, Leon? Yeah, I just said that for 10 of the companies you're going to apply to, you're going to have a blog post targeting them. You're going to have a landing page targeting them. You're going to have a small project that takes you half a weekend, half a day to work on, that shows that you can build something in the ballpark of their company. So that when you show up, you've already made it past the sniff test, and they say, tell me about what you do. Well, I fucking love 3D printing. I tweet about it. I blog about it. Here's a project that I've made that's all about 3D printing. I hear that you're trying to hire somebody to build software for 3D printing. So you are going to morph yourself into 10 different individuals with 10 different passions that are going to be for your premium apps. And you are going to focus everything for those 10. So 30 where you're doing custom stuff, 10 where it's high premium, and the other 20, you're just going to have some generics. Just the generic, good resume, good portfolio, good cover letter, but those are the ones you send out first. Right? Those are the ones you send out first. Those first 20 recommended applications that you like chameleon your way into, those first 20, those don't ever go well. Those don't ever go well. Brian, hey, thank you for the mock interview. Let's go. Send me a DM on Discord. I got you. Those first 20. Ooh, you got 10. Everyone here in chat has 10 vomit on yourself and slap their mama interviews. Every single person here has 10 vomit all over yourself, trip on the vomit, and slap their mom on the way down interviews. That's just how bad it's going to go. Like unfathomably bad. So you want to get those 10 out of the way first. And you don't want that to be with your premium applications. So you save the premiums for the end. When you're starting the job hunt, your job hunt starts out broad And as you get closer to like being ready to interview at your premium, it starts to narrow. So when you are building out your hit list, you're going to add 20 just random companies to start. Just 20 random that you're going to practice all this stuff on. You're going to practice trying to get the coffee chats. You're going to practice the Twittering stuff. You're going to practice all this stuff so that you can mess it up horrifically and not touch your 40 high value premium applications. Right? So you start that today. That starts now. You should all start trying to get this train a moving for those 20 that you know are just going to go bad. Right? Because the honest truth right now is that you're not ready to interview. You're just not. You're not ready to interview yet. We haven't prepped enough. We haven't gotten to kind of the CS theory that you're going to need to make it through technical interviews. You're just not ready yet. But this train takes a long time to get going. So you need to start doing all this checklist stuff. Everything on the checklist, that starts today. Right? That starts today. All this stuff starts today. You got to get this train out the station. You need to pick up some steam. You're going to start practicing on companies that you never want to work at. If you wind up with an offer, great, cool. Cool. You wind up with an offer, great. Alrighty. I didn't see the question. Sorry, Cheese, I didn't see your question. If you ask it again, I can take a peek. All right. Now, the cherry on top. Remember, 2 questions. Can you code? And do I want to work with you for the next 2 years? Y'all need to solve, the easiest way to solve that first question is to have something that you've built that's your own. That's not a tutorial. That's not something that you read a book on. All right? It's something that you build on your own that should take you 100 hours. Leon, how do you select premium? It should be the companies that you really want to work for. Like the ones you're super excited to apply to. Those are your premium ones. So I joined a tech company as a non-tech guy. Should I be doing everything in my power to network with the internal tech team and transition over? Abso-freaking-lutely. That is the easiest way to get a job. The easiest way to get a job is to just transition to a different team in the job that's already hired you. So yeah, absolutely you should be doing that. All right, here's your 100 hours project. It's going to be something that you're passionate about, something that you're excited to build, something that is a full stack web application. This is going to be what you're going to be working on for the bulk of the second half of program. Second half of program, I'm going to teach you how to build a full stack apps. All your time is then spent on this interview stuff and your 100 hours project. Because when you show up to an interview, you want to be able to show them this project and say, this is what I was able to build. This is what I'm able to do for your company. And it's tailored to myself and my story. So next week, I want a description about your 100 hours project. And I want a very, 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 very simple wireframe. Like very simple wireframe. So wireframe is just a quick outline of the application. Full stack has to have user logins, authentication. It has to be able to do something and ideally ties into your story. So Tuesday, all this checklist stuff is done, including the description and wireframe for what you want your 100-hour project to be. Now, you're going to have to think about this. You have to think about it. It's not going to come easy. It's something you have to think about. What are you passionate about? What do you like? Right? Or what do you hate? What do you wish was different? So yeah, so you got to start getting those juices moving. You got to start thinking about this project as well. All right. Let's keep it moving, folks. I believe there still are a few one-on-one slots left. All right. I know this is a lot. I know it seems like a lot of things you're stressed you're signing up for, and that's why I started off by it's like, look, Some people wake up and they decide it's worth it and they get jobs. Some people fuck around and they burn for a year and never get a job because they don't do this stuff. This stuff is not rocket surgery, but it does take a lot of effort. It does take continued effort. So you have to make the decision. Is it time for beast mode? Is it time to start the hunt? Or is it not? You have to make that decision today, because this train has to start leaving the station. We got a lot of other fun tech stuff to learn, but this is the shit that's going to get you a job. So this train's got to get going. And so this week, you got to start thinking through this. You got to start working through this checklist. And then I'm going to ask you to submit everything. So here's the Google form that you see at the end of the slides. I'm going to ask you for links to everything. I want to see your 100 hours project. I want to see everything. Right? So you got to get through that, because this train's got to get it moving, folks. All right. We got about 15 minutes left, a little bit more than 15 minutes left. I want to talk very quickly about interviewing and like why all this is important. Okay. Alrighty. I'm really struggling with an idea for the 100-hour project. Yeah, it's hard. It's not something you're gonna get like right off the jump. It's something you have to think about. It's something that you're gonna have to it's gonna have to come from within. It's gonna have to be something that like inspires you, that you're gonna actually want to work on for 100 hours. There's not that many things that most folks like want to work on for like 100 hours, you know? And so figure out what that is for you. And honestly, if you don't get it like this weekend, that's okay. But I want you to have at least thought through it. And then the idea behind the 100 hours project is that it's an MVP, a minimum viable product. The smallest set of features that you can do to get that project across the finish line. Right? The smallest set of features you can do to get that project across the finish line. And it's probably something you're going to come back and add more features to, but we're going to have a whole class on just the project, honestly. It'll be one of our Fridays where we just spend a whole bunch of time talking about the projects. But for now, just get an idea in your head. That's where you need to be. I've seen a lot of stuff. Some that I know that are being worked on right now. Somebody who's working on right now is a food finder app. So when restaurants have extra food, they plug it into the app, and then folks that are around the area get a ping on their phone saying that, I don't know, Au Bon Pain has extra bread, and you go and get the extra bread. So that's one I've seen recently. I have one right now that I know somebody's working on where they got drug prices, and they're letting you know if the price of your medications that you take go up or down. I thought that was really helpful. What are some other ones I've seen recently? There's one I saw recently where it was a tracker for your child to see how close they were to the bus stop. So the child has a phone an app on their phone. They tap a button and it'll show you like the distance. So it really could be anything. It can be anything that you're like excited to spend 100 hours on. If it helps somebody, that might give you the gusto to spend 100 hours on it. If it solves one of your problems, that might help. Like, there are so many things you could do, but it has to be something that's going to get you excited. If the idea doesn't get you excited, you have to find something else. There's no way you're going to stick through it. And this is where you learn the most. You will learn more from this project than you will learn from me. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Struggling through this project, connecting the dots, pulling things together is so important. It's where all the cognitive effort meets and your brain forms around these concepts. Yeah. All right. I want to get to this interviewing idea first, and then we will end in about 13 or so minutes and then do our raid, of course. All right. We're going to talk about interviewing. And as always, when I talk about interviewing, Gonna make some nerds angry. Interviewing is a skill, and it's a skill that can be learned, and it's a skill that there are some shortcuts to. So I'm going to show you the shortcuts. All right. Know that when you are applying, there are many different processes for different companies. Every different company will have a different application process. Okay? Now, remember, chat, we are not what? We are not applying. We are shooting to be recommended to every single one of our 60 companies. We are going to network our asses off and network our way into being recommended to all 60 of our applications. Now, after you've been recommended, there are a bunch of different steps that could possibly happen during your interview process. You could have a phone screen where a recruiter calls you and says, hey, tell me about yourself. Let's see if you're a good fit. These are normally pretty light. There are typically some behavioral questions, which we'll get to in a second, but that's it. They're just trying to get your skill level. They're just trying to figure out where you are and why you might be a good fit for the role. This is where your story comes into play. And this is where, if it's one of your premium companies, the little app that you built, you highlight that during this phone screen. Once you get past a phone screen, there's typically some sort of behavioral interview. It could be on that phone screen. It could be a separate part. Behavioral is like the questions that you already know. Like, tell me about your greatest weakness or your greatest strength. Like all those like cheesy interview questions. That's the behavioral. Except for technical jobs, they're typically tailored a little bit more. Tell me about a time that you worked on this, or tell me about a time you broke something in production, right? They're a little bit more pointed towards a job in engineering. Okay. Then you have some technical questions. Sometimes this is like a whole stage of the interview where they'll sit down and they'll talk to you and they'll say, you use Node. Tell me about Node. What do you like about Node? Oh, it has an event loop. Tell me about the event loop. Oh, that event loop's pretty cool. How is it different than just callbacks? Is it a callback? Like, it's just questions that they're asking you, and they're sussing out to see whether or not you know what you're talking about, right? So they're going to just pepper these technical questions your way. Then you could have a take home, which is literally like a project that you take home. These can be anywhere from 30 minutes to a whole day to complete. And sometimes they are coding challenges, like you've been seeing on Code Wars, stronger algorithmic questions that we'll get to with things like LeetCode, or they're like build this type of an app, right? So that could be a take home. Then there could be a whiteboarding stage. Whiteboarding is where you are in front of another person or a small group of folks. They give you a challenge and you literally handwrite out the challenge on a whiteboard. Nowadays with COVID, it's very rare to see like actual physical writing on whiteboard interviews, but they'll say, hey, open up this coder pad or your text editor and share your screen and code through this challenge. If you've made it through all of those things, right? If you've made it through all of those things, you'll probably have an in-person interview. And an in-person interview is like all the things that we just talked about, but way more. So an in-person interview might be just where you sit down and have 3 whiteboarding interviews back to back to back. It might be where you sit down and pair program with another developer, right? In-person can be a whole lot of different things. Okay. Then sometimes there's the wine and dine interview. Hey, Leon, come hang out with the team. Let's have lunch at a really fancy place. We really appreciate you going through this interview process. We would love to have you. That's the wine and dine interview. And then there's an offer, where you get an offer. And then once you get an offer, there's a whole art to negotiating the offer that you get. Just to get one job, please. One job, please. Do you get the wine? Oh, yes, I get the wine. Well, here's what I do. If the other engineers on the team get drinks, I get drinks. If other people on the team don't get drinks, I don't get drinks. So you got to look at what the folks around you are doing. All right, but we'll talk about that when we get down. All right. Now, this is pretty much all the things that you could see. Each company picks the things they want out of this. Some companies do it radically different. Some companies have all of these things. It can be different. So how do you prepare for all of this? Booty Liquor, thank you for the 3 months in a row. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. So, all right. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Okay. So let's talk about the steps in the process and how we get through them. Okay. Leon, this is so much. How do I prepare for this? I'm going to show you. I'm about to give you the most controversial thing. The thing I'm about to give you, I've literally lost colleagues over. The thing I'm about to tell you, I have lost colleagues over. So let's just get into it. Wolfgang, hey, thank you for the 6 months in a row. All right. Once you are recommended, all right, recommended, since this process can be so wild and different, the first question you ask is, what are the steps in the process? Right? This is something people always forget to ask. This isn't the controversial one. The controversial one's coming up. People always forget to ask this question. Great. Thank you for setting up this interview. What should I expect in this process? What are the steps? What type of interview am I about to have? All right. What am I about to get into? What are the steps in this process? They'll tell you. They will almost always tell you exactly what to expect. So you shouldn't be going into an interview like an accident. You should already know, it's going to be behavioral on Tuesday. If you get through that, it'll be a technical on Friday, right? And then that way you just let this whole wave of worry, right? This whole wave of worry just comes off of you because you just asked one very simple question. Don't forget to ever ask this question. What are the steps in the process? Now, this is where I lose people. You ready? I got 2 things for you. That I lose people on. Once you've been recommended and the process started, you need to Google, somebody's going to pay you $80,000+ a year to find everything you can about the process. Let me say it one more time. Once you get through that phone screen, you are now going to Google your ass off to find every single thing you can find about this process. Pi said people hate you for this. Yes, because let me tell you why. Because on Glassdoor will be the questions that they ask in the interview. On Glassdoor will be the questions people will ask you during the interview. People will go through an interview and push their answers to GitHub. People will sign up. People will go through the interview, and when they're done at the end of the day, what does any good developer do at the end of the day? They push their code to GitHub. So if you're applying to, I don't know, Bulbasaur Inc., you should be Googling the crap out of Bulbasaur Inc. on Glassdoor, on GitHub, on Blind, which is another great app, because you will find the questions. You'll find the questions. You're literally going to find the questions that you'll be asked. Now, that's the game. You want to play it? That's up to you. Because it's out there. You can find it. Now, not all the time will be the exact questions, but it'll at least give you an idea. Right? It'll at least give you an idea. So, know that that's a possible thing. Now, here's the last thing that folks really don't like. I don't really understand why they don't like this, but I get a lot of shit for it. The bank. Go ahead and click that link, please. This is the bank. This is the bank. It is a list of 22 behavioral questions, 300 technical questions, not quite 300, and questions to ask your interviewer. If you do exclamation point the bank, it'll come up. Over the next 3 months, you are going to study for the test. You are going to have answers for each of these behavioral questions. You're going to have answers for each of these technical questions. When any of these come up during your interview, you're going to regurgitate the answers. A lot of people hate this. A lot of people say, "Well, this is cheating. This is studying for the test." Fuck you. That's my only answer to you. Screw you. If your process is so broken that I can throw some stuff in Anki and make it through, that's not a problem on me. That's a problem on you. You got some engineer friends. Tell them about this. I guarantee they get upset at you. Guaranteed. You know why? Because they went through 4 years of school, and you're going to study these questions for a month and be able to recall them better than they can. That's it. This was a heavy, fulfilling 3 hours, no doubt. One of the best weeks. Top 5. Thanks. Hey, Green, I appreciate that. That's it. So you got your train. Jump on it if you want to jump on it. But you're gonna have answers to every single one of these behavioral. You're gonna have answers to every single one of these technical. You're gonna put them on your Anki and you're gonna grind. So where are the answers though? Down here. You can go through these source materials and find them. I don't know. Maybe you all will have a repo on the 100 Devs GitHub account on Friday where you can put your answers and submit pull requests if you would like. Maybe you will share them on Discord. Maybe some people will stream answering the questions together on Discord. Sharing is caring. But here's the thing. I really think you should work through each of these questions on your own. At least the first pass. So that you can use all the source material, pull things together. Okay. So use the bank. Now, real quick before we do our raid, when it comes to behavioral questions, you're doing one very important thing. CAR. Cause, action, result. What happened? What action did I take? And what result? So for each of your behavioral questions, you're going to have, well, what happened? What action did I take? And how am I the best developer ever to walk the earth because that happened? So on Friday, you should join us because on Friday, we are going to be working through how to answer these questions and how to structure the questions using CAR. So don't miss Friday when we work through this. Next, one last thing is your technical questions. You want to have EU, explanation, use, example. You want to be able to answer the question, explain how you might use it, and an example of when you might have used it. So that's not this Friday. That's the following Friday, where we're going to walk through some of these technical questions and say, all right, here's how I explain the answer. Here's how I would use it. And here's an example of where I might have used it. Last avatar, finally ready to make Anki cards. Let's go. Pronounce ew. And then the last thing is technical whiteboarding, but we're going to stop here for tonight. There's a whole process for getting into whiteboarding called prep that we're going to stop for now because the bank will take up the bulk of your time over the next month. All right, folks, you got a checklist. Let's go to the end here. Sorry, I'm going to jump to the end. You got to start prepping the bank. I'm going to ask you to complete your professional links before next Tuesday. I got you something to read and something to watch. This will be due for next week. On Thursday, we're coming back. We're going over callbacks, async await, fun stuff like that. Right? But this is your homework due next Tuesday. Yep, personality. All of the VODs wind up on YouTube. Exclamation point YouTube will get you there. Cool. All right. We got a little bit more cheat codes to come because we had to end a little bit early. We're at our 3 hours. I like to mark. On Thursday, I'm going to give you the last big cheat code that you're going to need to interview. And then we're going to go into our fun async await stuff. So let's go ahead and do a raid. Let's always end on the raid. We always like to spread some love and positivity, give a follow. So let's go ahead and end with a raid. Get your channel points. Remember, you want your channel points. Alrighty. I hope tonight was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned some cheat codes. Hope you're ready to turn on that switch, to crush it, to manifest everything that you want in life, because you deserve it. Let's raid.